Hey everyone, Prophet here. Today we're going to be covering the Prestream Goutcast. Now I had another video plan that I was going to work on here today, but with everything that went down, I think this is more appropriate. I just want to start this off by stating that I do not condone nor do I support anyone that files false copyright strikes or false DMCA takedowns of anyone. Let it be Phil Burnell or somebody as famous as Dr. Disrespect. Doing that is stooping down to the level of Superhound, who is just a complete fucking loser. Phil has dug his own grave when it comes to his channel, his business, his life. Okay, he doesn't need any further assistance. This was going to happen eventually. Now the process has just been sped up, and in my eyes, I see it as very childish to do. Let's just go over a brief history here of what happened since Monday. So, or actually on the weekend. So Phil basically challenged Evil AJ or anyone to basically false copyright him. And now that it has been done, Phil's crying foul, right? Phil brought it upon himself. So what Phil did on Saturday, which is illegal, mind you, by Phil's terms and by YouTube's terms, is Evil AJ privated his video so Phil couldn't react to it. All the sites that had the video linked were either asked to take it down or a copyright strike was filed against them. Now that is Evil AJ's prerogative. That's what he can do. That's his content. He doesn't want Phil to watch it. That's great. Now Phil likes to lie and say that Evil AJ gave him permission. Not really. Evil AJ had stated that he would give Phil permission for the Metal Gear Solid 3 video, not the one that Phil wanted to watch. And then later, after Evil AJ found out what Phil was going to do and monetize it, Evil AJ retracted that permission and basically told Phil to go fuck himself. So what did Phil do? Phil downloaded the video prior to it being privated. Then he re-uploaded the video to his own channel and monetized it. So he took a video from Evil AJ's channel, re-uploaded it to his own channel, and then reacted to it and made money on it. So you could think of that what you will, but starting on Monday, we had the Yakuza video that was taken down briefly because Phil had transphobic slurs and even had a transphobic slur within the title of the video. That was taken down. The title was later changed, but the transphobic slur is still in that video. No, I'm not going to watch it here for various reasons. That's a legit strike in my eyes because that breaks YouTube's community guidelines for hate speech, okay? Now, yesterday, Tuesday, August 23rd, Phil had a bunch of his videos age restricted, and it's now confirmed that Phil is not age restricting his videos and that he's creating them as suitable for children. If you've ever seen a DSP gaming video, you will realize that it is not suitable for children because Phil gets very vulgar with a lot of profanity, a lot of hate speech, a lot of sexualization, scat talk, you name it. And Phil gets pretty racist. Like even yesterday, we'll actually take a look at that video when it comes up. Now, when I make my videos, all my videos are labeled not made for children. Phil should have been doing the same, and obviously he hasn't, so a bunch of Phil's videos were demonetized and labeled as not suitable for children and age restricted. Again, that is a correct strike. That's not a copyright strike, and that's not anything bad on Phil's channel. That's not a permanent mark on his channel. That's just YouTube or other people stepping in doing the right thing. Now, all of Phil's videos should be labeled as not for children and demonetized. That means he won't get super thanks. On a live stream, you really can't do that. You can in the respect that when you start your live stream, you can choose not suitable for children, but Phil's not going to do that because Phil is a children's entertainer regardless of what he says. Now, also, today we had the false copyright strike that was filed. Well, It's tough to say because the copyright strike was done on a video from February 4th, 2022, in which Phil used a fan made song and a fan made intro. Now, of course, Phil then pissed this fan off, which has happened in the past, and the fan then no longer wanted to support Phil and copyright struck the video. Is that a fair thing to do? Yes and no. Yes, in the respect that it is that person's work. Phil did not pay for that person's work. That person did originally give permission for Phil to use that work for his content, but then later retracted that, like Evil AJ. So Phil probably should have re-edited the video, removing the intro. He didn't. The guy struck his video, and that's why we have a content strike currently on Phil's channel. Now, Phil goes into talking that there are 2 copyright strikes against him. We only know of the one. Phil will never prove or do anything, show any evidence that there is a second one. I cannot confirm, nor can I deny that there are 2 currently on the channel. All I can confirm is there is 1 copyright strike currently as of 6:56 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on August 24th, 2022. So, with that being said, let's start the show.
All right, everyone. Well, hello. Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. A podcast without hoopla, a podcast without celebration, a podcast that I'm pretty upset that I have to put out one like this today because I was obviously not planning on doing anything like this today. This is not good. All right, just to preface this podcast, sadly, this is the first time in years that I have had to deal with this kind of nonsense. I'm not happy about it whatsoever. I'm incredibly upset, actually. I have to talk with you guys matter-of-factly about what's going on right now with DSP Gaming, because there is a lot of bad things going on, risk right now. I kid you not, and I exaggerate to no capacity here. Right now, I'm live streaming this on DSP Gaming, and at any moment, the stream can go down. Okay? I don't even know if I'll be able to upload this. So if you're watching this live, enjoy. If you're watching this...
Okay, so first thing first. Today's stream was no way impacted by what happened with the copyright strike. Phil over-exaggerated it, and Phil played into the sympathies of his viewers, the cucks, the dents, the whales. Basically, and I called it this morning. I knew right away before the stream started, when we first realized things were going to go down, I put it in Meerkat and other discords that Phil was going to use this for pitty or sympathy bucks from his pay cucks. And it's exactly what he did. He turned around, he went on for like an hour and a half without starting the video, without starting the live stream, and then said that he couldn't do a thumbnail and that he was on the phone with a YouTube contact, which was all full of shit. Anybody was stating that there is really no contact, there is no partner contact that you can call at YouTube. Phil was just talking out of his ass, and he used it to basically play on the emotions and the sympathy of his viewership. And it worked, because he almost made $600 on the first stream here today. So, like, Phil over-exaggerated what was going on. Phil didn't want to deal, or Phil wanted to basically make it to the point where he could just beg for the money in case, like, the channel did magically get taken down, which probably is not going to happen. But we'll leave it at that, and let's continue.
On demand, congrats, I guess. I guess we got through it. All right, at least for the short term. But basically, you know, I've been a content creator for 14 years, and over the years I've dealt with a lot of bullshit, as you know. And sadly today I'm dealing with more of it. The good news is, because I've been down this road before, I'm not going panic mode. Thank God. because, you know, previously I have gone panic mode and kind of lost my shit and got all overstressed. I'm going to try not to do that, being that, kind of been there, done that.
If you're not going to go panic mode, Phil, then why did you spend 2 hours panicking about the situation? Okay, and you did panic. Was it legit panic? I still have a tough time myself believing a lot of it. Again, my theory is that he played it so that he can make money, which is what he did. So let's continue.
You know, I've been through this, but sadly the thing is, with the way that YouTube works, things change over the years. Things are constantly in flux. In regards to how to handle malicious activities against YouTube channels. So I'm doing my best now to handle it in a very calm manner, but, you know, I'll do my absolute best to not go off the cuff today. There's not much I can really do if I do. You know, it's emotions. It's only natural that humans who have put their heart, soul, and insane amounts of dedication and hard work into a business for, you know, some 11 years.
Phil, you haven't put any effort into this business, or your heart, or your soul, because you don't have a soul and you don't have a heart. Okay? And you'll play on that. You'll play like, oh, you're brought up Roman Catholic, which is full of shit. You may have been brought up Roman Catholic, but you're not a practicing Catholic, Phil. Okay? You con, you scam, you constantly lie, you use the Lord's name in vain. Like, I'm brought up Ukrainian Catholic myself, okay? Ukrainsky motherfuckers, right? Like, and I'm a practicing Catholic. Am I the best Catholic out there? No, okay? I do wake up in the morning, I say a prayer before I go to work, and when I get home, before I go to bed, I say a prayer. That's how I've always been brought up. I respect my family. I look after my parents. I don't use the Lord's name in vain. That's one thing I will not do. I will never use the Lord's name in vain. Phil, on the other hand, will every day scam, lie, cheat, steal, blasphemy. Like, so much for being a Roman Catholic, Phil, when you can't even follow your own ethics, your own religion when it comes to that. Let's continue.
Years, and has done this for a hobby for 14, will be a little upset if people are trying to directly hurt them, right? Like, imagine if you had something that you really worked hard on for 14 years of your life, and just because someone can mess with you, they will, right?
Now I just want to pause this here for a second. Remember, Phil has no backups of his content, of his 14-year legacy. So if the channel does get taken down, DSP Gaming is banned, Phil Burnell is banned from YouTube, he will also lose the King of Hate channel, and he'll also lose the what's the other one, the other piece of shit one, the Machinima channel. Whatever. He'll lose everything. Okay, it doesn't matter what channel he's got on YouTube. He can't, if he lose one channel, if you're banned, you cannot then go into another channel or appear on somebody else's broadcast. That is considered ban evasion. So not just DSP Gaming, but all other channels will be wiped from YouTube in regards to Phil. Okay? So he doesn't have an avenue to stay on YouTube. If the strikes stay, if the strikes are true, he will be wiped from YouTube. Now, again, he doesn't have any backups, and he'll get into this about how, oh, you know, you're going to have to buy a server. No, you don't. I've calculated the space it would need. It's about 59 terabytes of data with DSP Gaming alone that he would need to back up, which would cost him about $1,200 in a NAS drive. Maybe less, depending on the quality of drive you buy within the NAS. So he can do it. That's how I do all my videos. Everything is backed up on my NAS drive. So if anything should happen to my channel, I have all my content. Remember, Phil has no backups. So if this does actually end up going through, he's going to basically lose 14 years of his life. But there's still clip channels and stuff like that. So it's a gray area for Phil.
Like, and the thing is, I've been, again, through this before, and Usually we've had a way to fix it. I hope that that's going to be the situation again today. But I don't know, because I actually have no idea what's happening right now behind the scenes with YouTube. I got to explain all of this to you, obviously. Okay? So normally the podcast would be all about, oh, let's talk about the schedule for this week and what I'm going to be doing gameplay wise and what else is coming up and everything. Today I was supposed to talk about Gamescom, which I covered yesterday. I did a live react to it here on DSP Gaming. You guys seemed to enjoy it, although it wasn't super popular or whatever. You know, you guys liked that I talked about the, you know, the new game event that happened and everything. You know, so it is what it is. I had fun with it, but I was supposed to talk about kind of the fallout of that today. What games were announced, the release dates and everything. And the truth is I just can't do that. I have to talk about more serious matters here about my business. Which sucks. I want to talk about games. I want to talk about...
You really didn't, Phil. You didn't have to discuss this today, okay? You didn't even have to address it. And I'll go on this at the end on how Phil should have addressed the situation. Again, my theory, Phil did this for the money. He played into the sympathies and the emotions of his viewers, his audience, in order to goat them into giving him money. With the threats, like, you can compare this to the time Phil was going to lose the supposed Washington condo, right? Where he just begged hard and then everybody threw money at him. And he just laughed it off to the bank. No, people not realizing that Phil never pays his mortgage on time. Phil's always late. He pays a late fee according to the bank leaks. So if he misses a mortgage payment, that's not really bad. He's not going to get evicted. It'll take some time for that to happen. But of course, Phil played it off for the money, just like he's doing now.
Fun, and I can't do that now because of the malicious actions of people who think that they can just break the law whenever they want, which is not the case, but because it's on the internet, they tend to get away with it more often than not. So, first of all, I want to say in advance, thank you to the moderators who are already here helping. I know for a fact this stream's probably going to have sky-high views.
And of course, like, you can see he's watching chat like a hawk. He's got moderators. This was all planned beforehand. It's possibly why Phil started late, to wait for some moderators to get in there so that they could ban anybody that was asking any type of questions that Phil didn't want to answer. There are some trolls in the chat. Yeah, I will admit that. I was not one of them. But again, Phil has to, and I'll coin a phrase from Phil, play the narrative, right? He has to play that narrative that he's done nothing wrong, he's done everything right, and that everybody else in the room, on the planet, is to blame for his misgivings. Again, Steve the Dead will attest to this. A narcissist is always going to play the victim. They're never the villain. And that's exactly what Phil does here during this stream.
As I go through what's going on and you know, my plans and everything, and I appreciate that. I would ask, if you are someone who's watching this live, please be understanding and considerate of the fact that I'm pretty upset right now. I'm going to try to do my best to remain calm and not lose my mind. And also, please understand that I would love to have just done a normal show today on time. I would have loved to do gameplay with you guys on time. I can't because of what's going on. Okay? So we're going to...
Again, and sorry for the pause. Again, what's going on has no effect on how Phil could do the stream today. Let's just get that out there. He could have started on time. He could have done the Goutcast. He could have played his game. And then at the end, he could have said, you know, there was an issue. We've been copyright struck. Blah, blah, blah. But again, I'll get into that at the end. Again, Phil's just going to play this out just for the sympathy bucks.
We're going to talk about that because now some people are asking, well, what's going to happen with gameplay? What actually happened? We're going to talk about that right now, okay? All right. So, allow me to get started, right? So as you guys know, on DSP Gaming, I don't infringe anyone's copyright. Everything I do here is considered fair use, right? You know that.
Okay, that is bullshit. Phil has copyright struck people before. He's had people do it for him. People like OIC, people like Superhound have gone out of their way. We have the leaked DMs. No, I'm not going to go grabbed them from Kiwi Farms. His Kiwi Farms is currently down. Phil has done it in the past, so don't kid yourself. Phil's gonna again play like the hero there. That he's never done it. This is all okay. Don't worry about it. But the fact is that yes, he's done it in his early days. He did it in the mid 20-teens, and there's still some argument that him and Superhound were the ones that were striking all the content creators, and Phil knew about it. Again, with the new stuff that's been going down with all the detractor channels that have been hit recently, we can't prove that, but we do have DMs from the past that show Superhound and Phil talking. So it's not a stretch to say that possibly Phil did have it. Again, I cannot confirm or deny any of it.
And I don't break any community guidelines on YouTube. I stay within my
that is a fucking lie.
Back in the day, you could argue 10 years ago, a lot of the stuff I did was risque. Even back then, I didn't violate YouTube's community guidelines. Okay?
Okay, let's go on a field trip.
Also, showing no in-game gameplay whatsoever. Yes. Amazingly unique. Look, we're diverse because that's a woman, not of the white-skinned color. Yes.
Phil, you care to explain? You're doing it in an Asian voice. You make a racist comment, and this was done during the Gamescom event yesterday, August 23rd, 2022. So again, Phil, do you want to explain how you don't break any community guidelines or terms of service? You know what's funny? Phil's looking at my screen on the left like, oh shit, I've been caught face, right? Let's see if I could find the, see if Cult of Hate has the one from a couple weeks ago where, no, the slave trade one. I'm not even going to bother finding it. Everybody knows that one. If you haven't, I suggest you look it up. Phil makes a comment about the slave trade, which had nothing to do with the game that he was playing about on that stream. There was a girl, an African-American girl there that Phil just blurted out about something being in the slave trade. Like, holy shit. Why would you say that? So there are very, very, very many instances of Phil breaking community guidelines, like saying he's a crowd-funded individual, which is against YouTube's TOS, or saying he's going to hold a fundraiser, which again is against YouTube's TOS unless you are a registered charity. You have the racism, you have the bullying, the slander, the harassment of viewers, game developers, content creators, you name it. You can go to PigPigGo, search up stationery, bang, racism, search up the woman walking, and bang, racism. So, and then you have the video that was taken down on Monday because it had transgender slurs in it. And it was titled with a transgender slur that Phil got away with for years. So, Phil has broken many community guidelines. And again, Phil gets a pass from YouTube because he has close to 200,000 subscribers. He streams daily, bringing in YouTube money every day. So, YouTube is a platform for hate speech. If you're a prominent YouTuber, you get a pass. If I were to do something that was racist or sexist or homophobic, I would probably get banned instantly. But that's YouTube for you, right? Mama Susan doesn't give a shit if you make money for her. If you don't make money for her, she will crucify you. So Phil does get away with a lot, and I mean a lot, of guideline strikes and TOS violations. And look at this, Rich's RTU is streaming right now, and he's stolen Snort Hogan's fucking shit. Good job, Rich. Keep it classy.
over time things change, and now people tend to have difference of opinion on what's allowed and what's not on the internet, and I totally understand that. But luckily, in regards to YouTube, you're not going to get punished for something you did long in the past that today could be considered maybe not so kosher or acceptable. You see what I'm saying? That's definitely a good thing, because man, you know, you guys have seen me in my past and the things that I've said and done. Take a look at me reacting to things like my Down the Rabbit Hole video recently.
Again, 24 hours ago, we have Phil being racist on stream. 24 hours ago. But he's changed over the last 5 years, right, people? Right? Well, why am I not hearing anybody agreeing with me? Let's continue.
And cringing at my past and the stuff I used to do, and I've made a concerted effort in the last 5+ years to do better. Okay, I have. Sadly, changing myself in the last 5 years has really not helped in regards to the crazy mob of people on the internet that hate me. In fact, it's almost like because I don't regularly do those wrong things anymore, their ire against me is even worse. Don't ask me how that makes any logical sense.
If you saw him looking down there, more than likely that was a WWE poll. He keeps his phone in his lap. He's been caught twice now within the last month of playing WWE online as he's streaming. So, take of that what you will.
I don't think it does. But then again, you know, people like you and me who are logical humans don't think the same way as these crazy people who spend all their time on the internet trying to bring down others, right? So, in this regard, you know, I don't know what else you can do to appease a certain group. And so rather than try to do that, I just ignore them. And you guys know that over the last 5+ years that I've changed myself. I've changed the style of content that I put out on the internet. I became a full-time streamer. I became a lot more PC in the kind of content that I put out.
Again, yesterday's stream, racism. 2 weeks ago, racism. Threatening and challenging Evil AJ on Friday's stream. Challenging the Wings detractors and the Wings trolls, which have the ones that have probably done this. But Phil has changed in the last 5 years, right? No, it's still the same garbage stream that he's always had. Rolls out of bed 10:30 in the morning, hits live on his fucking computer, sits there for a half an hour shadow banning people and talking in chat, then starts up live and starts begging for money. Because he doesn't want to work. So, have you changed, Phil? Like, you're doing the exact same shit. Nothing's changed on your stream whatsoever. You haven't changed as a person, right? The only thing that changed is Leanna's gone. Okay? You know, the child that you groomed to be your girlfriend and then move across the country with you. And now you have a wife who cheated on her boyfriend with you at the time, committing adultery. Because you're so Roman Catholic, right? You got your wedding ring on, but in the picture that we have of you and Kat in the car, you don't have your wedding ring on. Because the marriage isn't really real. So, have you really changed at all, Phil? No. You're the exact same loser begging for change because you don't want to work. You haven't changed one bit.
Admittedly, I'm not risque like I used to be. I have more meaningful streams and conversations with my audience now than I feel like I ever did in any of the content before I did that big change. In the last year, okay, I became a full-time content creator here on YouTube again. All right, for the first time in many, many years. I came back to YouTube, and it's been a rough ride because...
Now, why did you come back to YouTube, Phil? That's right. You got banned from the Twitch partner program for hateful slurs. You kept thinking that those are racial slurs, even though you were racist on Twitch. But hateful slurs are you telling fans to go fuck themselves, you're a fucking idiot, a dunce. Stuff like that, Phil. that is considered a hateful slur. Not just a racial slur, but hateful slurs. You didn't get banned from Twitch until you actually did use the racial slur, which you said was a slip of the tongue and got away with, and Twitch let you back on, but you were no longer partnered, meaning that you couldn't get bits, you couldn't get cheers, you couldn't get gifted subs. So you were pretty much fucked. The only thing that you could beg for was PayPal tips. So you went back to YouTube, because on YouTube you can at least get super chats and memberships. And you got gifted your AdSense back after it was banned because you fucked that up. But now that you've lost AdSense on the King of Hate and the other channel, you can no longer make money on those two. You only have an AdSense just for DSP Gaming. And now that is in jeopardy. So your only course of action would be to do what? Odyssey, you can't, because the troll's already registered DSP Gaming over there. So you'd be fucked. You have to rename something else or another play on DSP Gaming. Or you can run back to Twitch and beg for PayPal bucks. Remember, you can't use your Patreon because you have to actually provide content for your Patreon members. If you don't have an avenue to do that, you cannot use Patreon for a GoFundMe style website. That's against their TOS, and I've already reported you for that. Let's continue.
I had a lot of following and a lot of support on Twitch that I lost when I jumped over to YouTube. Okay? And again, you look at the situation, you're like, okay, so what has really happened in the last year in regards to DSP Gaming as a whole? Well, the channel's grown. I've added a lot more content that people have wanted. I've listened directly to feedback and changed for what my viewers tell me for the better. I've pretty much tried to do everything right. And of course, I'm a flawed human and I make mistakes all the time. I lose my temper, I lose my cool, say things that are stupid or whatever. But for the most part, if you watch my content, it's pretty relaxed, it's pretty chill and fun and interactive with my audience. If anything, the one thing that people seem to still have issue with is the fact that I ask for support, right, on my streams. And I do that because I need support.
That's your fault, though, Phil. You refuse to get a job, okay? You consider this as your job, which it's not. Jumping on and asking for support, Phil, because you refuse to work is not your viewer's problem. That is your problem. You've created that issue for yourself. You don't want Kat supporting anything because that's the agreement you had when you married her, that you would pay for everything and she could pretend to be your wife. So you've basically kneecapped yourself in that respect. You have no savings. You have nothing to fall back on. That if this does go down, you are seriously financially screwed. So your choice right now, and what you're doing with this podcast today, is to use it for sympathy bucks from all the cucks on your channel who are going to fall for the lies, the bullshit, the con, the scam that you're running right now, because you don't have a job to fall back on, and you're unemployable. Okay, every job or any partnership that you've had on YouTube or Twitch or Blip TV, you've been fired from or dropped because of who you are as a person. Okay, and the people that watch Phil, the fans of Phil that watch this video, please understand this. Do not support this man. Do not give him money. Okay, because months from now, there'll be another thing that comes up where he's going to try to pull the wool over your eyes and stick his hands in your pockets and take out all your money. Okay? This is what a con man, a scam artist, does. Okay? He's fast talking. He's got you brainwashed like a cult leader. Okay? He has caused this problem for himself. He challenged the Wings trolls. They reacted. He's begging for money because he doesn't want to work. Instead, he'll jump on stream for 12 hours a day and play video games and beg for cash. And if he doesn't get that cash, then he immediately starts blaming you, the viewer, that you're not supporting him. Now, is he really doing the things that you've asked him? Like, is he playing Smash Brothers? No, that game is too old. But what is he doing? He's playing fucking Saints Row 1 from 2006, which is older than Smash Brothers. Does that make any sense to you? Like, I would really like it if DSP fans would comment in the comment section on this video and explain that to me. He refuses to play Smash Brothers. He'll play fucking Multiverses, which I can't stand either. But he won't play Smash Brothers because it's old. But he'll play a game even older and beg for money for that. Think about that.
I used to be in a financial situation years and years ago that was much better. Now I'm in a financial situation that's not so great, and that's for various different reasons of which we don't need to talk about specifically. But
you do need to talk about it, Phil. When you're begging for money, and one of your cucks asks you, well, what do you need the money for? And then you lose it on them and ban them. You shouldn't then be asking for that money in the first place. The reason why you're in the financial situation that you're in, you fucked over your friends John, Rambo, and Howard, plus Respect the Pack. They wanted to get paid. You didn't want to pay them. The only one you paid was Rambo. And even then, he was underpaid for what he did. You then ran across the country with Liana, racking up 13 credit cards filled to the brim with garbage and shit that you didn't need to move into a house that you can't, or a condo you can't afford, and then announced bankruptcy. That was your fault, but that was your plan all along. So it's not up to the viewer, your fans, to now bail you out of that situation you've put yourself in.
The problem is, there are weeks where I go paycheck to paycheck, meaning if I don't make a good amount on certain streams or whatever, I can't even pay my bills for the week. And that sucks. It's a terrible feeling. As a result of that, people on the internet have made a concerted effort, these who don't like me, by the way, to make up conspiracy theories and all kinds of fucked up things about me.
They're not conspiracy theories, Phil. I just played a video of you being racist a day ago, but you're saying that you've changed. And it's not just the detractors or the trolls that report on your bullshit. Even my friends or my family that don't even watch you, that don't even watch my own content, and they can't understand why somebody would give you money. You don't do any work for that money. You don't provide any quality product for that money. It's just a lazy bum sitting in a creaky gaming chair begging for change so that he can pay his bills that he can't afford because he's put himself in a situation that he can't resolve.
And try to post them up on the internet as facts, despite the fact that they're not facts, right? They're just very, very big, corrupted, toxic twistings of a nugget of truth to turn it into a giant conspiracy theory. And they've done that with many different things over the years. And recently, obviously, they've doubled and tripled down on a few of their different conspiracy theories that are not true. But again, for me to sit here and try to debunk them or whatever, there's no point. Because the moment that I try to debunk one thing,
he's talking about champions.
I'm not exaggerating. In the last week, just one of them I mentioned on my stream, and then immediately when I said, oh, well, this is really what happened, a troll came on the stream and said, well, what about this and this and this? So that's what they are. They move the goalpost. So the thing is with people like this, you can't ever change their mind or attitude. Okay, you can't. You can't help this kind of nonsense. You just have to accept that it's going to exist, and you have to say, all right, well, don't acknowledge it. Push forward positively. Put out positive content every day and hope for the best. Okay? And that's been my attitude for the last 5+ years, that I've really changed myself from being that toxic individual to someone who I feel is putting out meaningful content. And trust me, there have been many opportunities over the years for me to put out that kind of toxic, negative content for personal gain. Just recently. You know, you had someone like Review.
You're doing that right now, Phil. You're creating this podcast, which is a toxic podcast, to play on the sympathy and the emotions of your viewers to give you money. You did it with the John and Howard React video, where you threw Howard under the bus and you said that you didn't monetize that video, which you did. You still accepted super chats, you still accepted super stickers tips through PayPal, and you have super thanks enabled on that video. The only thing you disabled were the ads, which you claim don't make any ad revenue on it anyways. But you still monetized that toxic video. You did Wings of Redemption, another toxic reaction. So you do it now on almost a weekly basis because you know you can prey on the susceptible viewer by running these weird-ass marathons.
Tech USA, who is putting out multiple streams of videos in a negative light about me. I publicly make it known that I think that's messed up because he's watching conspiracy and taking it as fact and then publicly doing negative things and saying negative things about me. And I state, I could easily do the same thing about him. I could do an entire stream like that. All right? An entire...
You did. I reacted to it. A fucking 4-hour-long video, and this video is going to be long. And sorry I didn't mention this. This is just going to be a talking head video for the most of the part. Right now I'm working on setting up a Windows Slipstream install. I got to build a couple computers on the weekend here, so if you just want to listen to this as you're working out or you're at work one day or you're just chilling, reading a book or something, go right ahead.
Higher stream and just have sky-high views and make sky-high profit. And I refuse to do it because I feel like I'm a better person and a better content creator than that. I was raised with morals and values saying this is not the kind of shit you do.
What do you think this fucking video is that you're currently doing, Phil? That's exactly what this video is, and I'm repeating myself.
All right? So I'm not going to do it. I could be way more popular and make a lot more money doing that. And guess what? Then probably I wouldn't have to be asking you guys for support all the time on my streams. But I don't want to be the negative, toxic guy. I want to put out positive stuff. You understand? So that's why I don't go there. But because I put out the positive stuff, right? I limit myself to a certain audience and I limit myself to a certain amount of support. And it's hard to make ends meet and I have to ask for support. Yes, I openly admit it. I ask for support on my streams. And it backfires when these trolls go after me in various different ways. Okay? So, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you right now. All right? So, in the last year to year and a half since I came to YouTube full time, all right? Basically, I have been very lucky. Let's put it that way. And how was I?
Phil, look at the camera. Stop watching chat like a hawk and banning random people from speaking the truth in your chat. You're trying to control, again, coin a phrase from you, you're trying to control the narrative so that nobody can say the correct shit in your chat. And you're quickly banning them along with the moderators. Okay? Look at the camera. Talk to your audience. Okay? You're looking all over the place. Your body language right now proves you're lying. Okay? You can't sit still. You can't keep eye contact with your camera. You're all over the place. Okay? Calm the fuck down. Do the podcast correctly. It's not really a fucking podcast, but whatever.
I lucky, you might ask. I've been able effectively to avoid any kind of attacks on my channel, DSP Gaming, because as much as DSP Gaming is my YouTube channel, where I primarily do all of my content,
that's because you get away with it. It's also the major majority
of my business. Yes, I actually am a business owner in the state of Washington, USA. This is my business as well as my job. And when people take negative action against me, essentially you're attacking a small business. You're not just attacking an individual.
Okay, again, Phil has a sole proprietorship within Washington State. Burnell Productions, registered publicly. The address is publicly available online. That's because Phil fucked up when he registered it. Are you really attacking a small business? Like, Phil, what do you provide as a product? Because your content is trash. It's garbage. Okay? It's not featured in the YouTube algorithm because it's crap. Plus, you kneecap yourself when you private your live stream and you lose all the analytics. So, you don't really provide any type of product. again, you should have registered your business as a C corp or an LLC so you can protect yourself, but you fucked up and registered it as a sole proprietorship. It's not a business. A grown 40-year-old man playing video games is not a business, Phil. Now, some podcasters or some content creators, yes, because they have sponsors that can supplement their income. They have other ways of making money. You've put all your eggs in one basket with this shitty fucking Brunel production that's slowly dying. So that's your fault.
Because you don't like them, you're actually attacking a big amount of, a small business that's registered and treated as such. Okay? So, thank God I've been able to avoid issues, all right, in the last year and a half. But the thing is, behind the scenes, I always kind of expect or suspect that things might be going down. And I'm like, I haven't gotten any kind of strikes or any kind of issues or claims against the channel outside of Content ID.
Hogan pull there. That was a Hogan pull.
What YouTube has tended to do over the years now, rather than say, grant a whole takedown strike or grant a big negative thing against your channel, they will just give you a Content ID issue, which means, oh, maybe your video is blocked, maybe your video is age restricted and therefore you can't get ads on it or whatever. But that's usually what you...
The reason he's mentioning that there is because of what happened yesterday, where a bunch of his videos started getting age restrictions and he lost monetization on them. That's Phil's fault again. Like I said earlier, he needs to make sure that when he starts his stream, he check marks the box that states not meant for children. But he's not going to do that because the majority of his viewers are children.
YouTube tends to do. They usually don't go all the way anymore with a full-on strike or issues like that. Okay? So, I've been lucky, admittedly. I've been full-time here on DSP Gaming for almost a year and a half, because I came up with May, so May, June, July, almost a year and a half. We're full-time. This has been my job right here, DSP Gaming, and that's it. In fact, if you haven't noticed, I focused all my efforts on this channel. I even stopped using things like my old vlogging channel. I haven't gone back to KO Gaming. I've just focused right here on...
That's because back in January, February, you lost monetizations on those channels. So you can't, you really haven't supported those channels in many, many years, ever since you lost your Machinima partnership. So those channels were dead long ago. You lost monetization. This is your only form of money outside of Patreon, because everything else you've lost. You've lost your Teespring, you've lost KO Gaming, you've lost King of Hate Vlogs. Those are all gone. So this is your only source of revenue, outside of Kat, who probably isn't working because she's been home for the last 4 days.
DSP Gaming and making this the source for my content. I think that's been a huge benefit. We've seen overall viewership go up. Subscriptions have climbed at a good amount in the last year. For the first time in many, many years, people are actually watching content on DSP Gaming again. Is it a ridiculous ton of people? No. But is it a good amount for my size as a content creator? Yes.
Let's put it this way. Since the beginning of August, he's lost roughly 150 memberships. Right? All those gifted subs, all the gifted memberships gone. Wiped out. He's down to like 435 or some shit like that. His subscriber count really hasn't grown. He was at like 196,000 when he came back to YouTube. I think he's at like 199,000. But remember, that's 14 years of content creation, and he's not even top 200,000 yet. I don't expect to even get that big on my channel, to tell the truth.
Is it growing? Yes. So all these are positives. All right? But today I have to come to you with a negative. In fact, a story about a concerted effort against me in my business. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not exactly sure why. So allow me to...
It's simple, Phil. Like there's always a concerted effort. You've been running this concerted effort for years. You challenged the Wings trolls. Okay? You have the detractor community who reports on all your scams, all your cons, all your bullshit. Like, you made the mistake of threatening evil AJ. You made the mistake of challenging the Wings trolls now that they've gotten Wings almost completely demolished. You challenged them, they answered that challenge, and now you're crying and panicking on your stream. That's why you're in this situation, Phil. Okay? But you gotta play it for the fucking dent heads in your chat to try to make yourself look like the victim rather than the villain. You fucked up. And I have the right to tell you that you fucked up.
Explain everything that's been happening, all right? So you guys are well aware, all right? Well aware that there's people out there that don't like me, all right? But those people have always kind of stood almost on like a high horse or a soapbox in regards to abusing YouTube systems. Like, their mentality has always kind of been, all right, we really don't like Phil, but we're not going to, you know, abuse YouTube systems. We're not going to break the law. We're not going to do messed up things in order to hurt Phil. We're going to try to find legit ways. Whether we just make videos about him, restream his content, you know, and every once in a while when he does something wrong, call him out for it. And you know what? To some extent, not to say that I certainly like or approve that. I obviously don't want people being nasty to me all the time and trying to pry into my private matters, personal life that has nothing to do with my streams, making conspiracies up.
But that's what the majority of your streams are, Phil. You make everything about your personal life. And then when anybody questions you about the shit that you're lying about, you get pissed off at them and go, my personal life's off limits. You cannot ask me those questions. Then stop bringing it up. If you can't pay your fucking bills, that is your fault. Do not bring it up on stream. If Cat's cheating on you with Tyrone, don't bring it up. We don't give a fuck about it, okay? You have put yourself in this situation because you know that you're a drama content creator. Like Shinko says, you're a content catalyst, okay? You know that this is going to bring views, this is going to make you money. Because then you can beg from those idiots, the dent heads, the handicaps, that don't know any better, who are going to go beg their parents for their credit card, like that fucking creep Derek. Okay?
About me. But at least kind of when you're playing by the rules, it kind of keeps you on your toes. All right? Allow me to explain what I mean by that. So, it's easy when you are someone who has popularity or someone who basically is being successful to kind of feel like you're above reproach or to feel like you are infallible, unpunishable, right? But
remind me again, Phil, what you kept changing your Twitter handle to, right? How many times have you changed your Twitter handle in the last 2 months? Because you think you're infallible, and then he's got that smirk on his face. You saw the smirk, right? Because he knows he can get away with shit on YouTube without having any repercussions leveled against him, and now he actually has to face something, and he doesn't know what to do. Like, you're not immortal, Phil. DSP the Immortal. You are not immortal. Okay? You're not successful. You have to get up every morning at 10:30, roll your gouty ass out of bed, and beg for money. I don't have to do that. I get up in the morning, I go to work, I come home, I create a DSP reaction video. Or I do a restream. Or I debunk some of your bullshit. If I want to do it that day. Okay? I've got Meth Bear who comes on and we go over the legal shit that you should be going through. And shout out to Meth Bear. Fucking awesome guy there, right there. Okay? You're not a successful businessman, Phil. You're not a successful human being. Okay? You're in a loveless marriage. You're begging for money. You're one step away from living in the gutter outside the fucking gated community. Okay? You have nothing to show for your life. I do.
when you're someone who gets called out for shit all the time, you try to actively make yourself better. Admittedly, in the past 5 years, I've actively changed my content for the better for various different reasons, one of which being, hey, I know I have people watching me all over the internet constantly, and if I say or do something fucked up, they're going to call me out for it. They're going to report me to YouTube. They're going to try every possible thing under the sun to hurt me because I did something messed up. You see what I'm saying? So, to some extent, to have that many people on my ass every day has kind of made me be a better content creator, I feel. All right? But that's because they play by the rules. You understand? In the last few years, I've actually been contacted by some of my detractors asking me, hey, Phil, did you take down my video? Did you take down my stream? Did you take down my Twitter? Did you do this or that? To which I...
Now, this is all new to the detractor community. Phil's actually been going over this the last couple days here about detractors who are calling him, emailing him or whatever, and being like, oh, you're pretty cool and everything like that. I would really like to know who these detractors are, because whenever we hear this, like if I'm on King Jad stream or Raven's Dolphin or Shenko's, when we hear this, we're all just like, who, Phil? Like, give us some proof. Show us these emails of these detractors that are contacting you and telling you how good you are, or asking you for help with content strikes or shit like that. This is 100% a lie, because Phil doesn't mingle with detractors. Remember that. Phil ignores them. But now Phil is saying that he talks to them on a regular basis. I'm going to call X to doubt on that one, Phil.
I always respond truthfully. No, it has always been my mentality that I will absolutely positively not claim any content, even as negative as it could possibly be, because man, there's been some messed up stuff said and done about me on YouTube over the years, some of which is absolutely completely false. But if you didn't notice, I don't claim it. I don't take it down. I don't try to content ID match it. I don't try to copyright strike it.
I really like to know what,
I just leave it as is. My mentality is, listen, people are going to say whatever. I'm not going to abuse YouTube's system, all right? I'm going to just do my own positive content every day. And I've even actively helped a couple people. I don't know if they've ever publicly talked about it. There's a couple of my detractors who I went out of my way to try to help them get copyright issues fixed.
Again, Phil, who? Who have you helped in the detractor community to get their copyrights fixed? You didn't help Aquateal. You didn't help Hate Army, aka Cult of Hate now. You didn't help Super Crazy. Like who have you helped in the detractor community? What, Duty, who makes shit up constantly? He's never been content struck, so I would really love to know who you've helped, Phil. Everybody in the detractor community would love to know that.
There was one guy who hired a lawyer and actually went to YouTube with his lawyer and had me write a big statement stating, listen, I did not do this. This is not me. Someone is falsifying my information and trying to take down shit, in my name. This is not right. Okay? So, as much as I know detractor content is bad and hurts my business and even myself personally, I refuse to participate in any kind of illegal activities or abuse of the DMCA takedown system or anything like that.
Bankruptcy and tax fraud, though, that's okay.
That, because I feel like I'm better than that, and I feel like if I'm going to be successful, I need to be successful on my own, not by shutting down every other person who says something about me, but by people actually just genuinely liking the content I put out. You see what I'm saying? It's not legal to try to claim someone who does stuff like that. It's considered a transformative work. All right? So...
But you were crying foul on the weekend, Phil, that what Evil AJ did was illegal. Right? You're a hypocrite. Okay? It's okay if you do it, but it's not okay if we do it. And then you'll flip-flop back and forth, whatever suits the narrative. Right, Phil?
I'm not doing that shit. I refuse. Okay? And that's always been my mentality. And when people always say, oh, Phil, you claim this, you claim that. No, I didn't. I don't do that. I swear to everything that I've ever stood for in my life to you right now publicly, I do not.
But you don't stand for shit, Phil. You don't. You have no morals. You have no ethics. It's just money. Money, 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 money to get the sweaty man JPEGs.
Take down videos. I do not take down streams. I don't do that. If it ever happens, someone else is doing it in my name. Okay? So there you go. So why are we here today? because I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. And I'd like answers, although I doubt I'm going to get any. All right. So, as you guys know, over the last week, there's been a hell of a lot of controversy for dumb reasons here on DSP Gaming. All right. So, let's talk about what's going on. All right. In the last week, I was going to do my React marathon to This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2. This is something that I had in the works for a while. I talked about it months and months ago. Sorry, Evil AJ, you gave me public permission to react to the video months ago.
No, Phil, he did not give you permission to do it, okay? When he was talking, you never contacted Evil AJ at all about it. What you did is you read a Twitter post that Evil AJ had a communication with another user asking if he would give you permission, and Evil AJ gave you permission for the Metal Gear Solid 3 gameplay. But then after watching your React videos after May, when he had made that post April, May, he retracted that permission and told you to go fuck yourself. Okay? He can do that. He is well within his right to do that. Okay? So you lying to your viewers when we have the Twitter communications, Phil, makes you the bad guy. And basically what you did is when he privated his video, like I said earlier, you downloaded it before it was privated. When he privated it, you uploaded it, his video, the video he created, you uploaded that video to your channel and then reacted to it, monetizing the video. That is theft. In my eyes, that is illegal. Phil broke copyright. Evil AJ can strike him for that. Evil AJ's not going to because he's not going to stoop to Phil's level. Phil did steal somebody's content, word for word, exact video, and uploaded it to his channel so he could make money on it. And like King Jad said, that's illegal.
So it's covered under fair use, and you gave me public permission. I was in the clear to do it. But apparently a lot of people didn't like that. All right? So essentially what happened over the weekend is that there was a concerted effort to try to hurt DSP Gaming. All right? What was that concerted effort? I can tell you. A cacophony of false claims were thrown against DSP Gaming.
None of them were false. Okay? You had the one video that was struck on Monday, like I said earlier, because you had transphobic slurs in it, and you had a transphobic slur in the title. That title has now been changed, but the video was allowed to remain because YouTube promotes hate speech. The videos yesterday that were claimed were age restricted, and you lost monetization on them because you should be age restricting your videos. And the video today, you used a ex-fan's intro that he doesn't want you using anymore, and he struck your content. And he's well within his right to do that. Is it scummy? Yes. What he did, for me, it's a gray area because he originally gave you permission because he used to be a fan. Now that he's salty, he's going to strike you. That's childish, but he's well within his right to do so.
All types. It wasn't just one focused effort. It was like, let's just throw so much shit at the wall and let's see what will stick. Okay? Well, out of all the shit being thrown at the wall, nothing stuck. What I can tell you is they tried everything. All right? In regards to like community stuff, they went back, listen to this, and tried to flag videos of mine from 6 to 10 years ago.
There's nothing wrong with that, Phil. That content is still up and available on YouTube. It should be taken down because you're racist, you're homophobic, you're sexist, you're defaming, slandering, harassing game developers, content creators. You can't do that, Phil. Even back then, you couldn't do that. Pretty sure the N-word has always been banned on YouTube. How many times have you used it? Or referred to an African-American person in a derogatory manner? Or referred to an Asian person in a derogatory manner? You do that, like, you did it yesterday. I played the video here. This is on your channel. This is clipped from your channel. You cannot do that, Phil. People can go back 10 years, 14 years, and having you be the last Nazi in space. That got you banned from Blip TV. You jerked off on stream. And still somehow kept your channel. And like you said, Phil, you're lucky. You are the pig roach. You get by breaking the law, breaking YouTube TOS or community guidelines. You just skirt by all the time.
As if it was content I just put out today, stating, oh, I don't like the way he said this. I don't think that this is allowed or whatever, you know, this and that. Okay? Now, I have to stick up for YouTube in this regard. When it comes to their community guidelines, YouTube is quite intelligent, and if they make a mistake, they will usually reverse their mistake immediately. Okay? So in regards to community guidelines, anyone trying to say, oh, Phil did this and that on DSP Gaming and it's a violation of this guideline or that guideline or whatever, YouTube is generally very, very good about handling it well. So
no, they're not. YouTube allows people with large subscription counts to get away with murder, basically, on their platform. And it's disgusting. Everybody on the YouTube platform should abide by the same set of rules that YouTube has stated within the TOS and the community guidelines. I don't care if you've got 1 billion followers on your channel. You cannot use racial, homophobic, sexist, slanderous, harassment, defamation. You cannot do that. But Phil somehow gets away with it, as do many lolcows on YouTube. They get away with it. But that's because, in my eyes, YouTube promotes hate speech. They're a platform for hate.
So to give you some perspective, all right, let's say there's a video of mine from 8 years ago where I said a bad, naughty word that if you said it today, you'd be in hot water, you'd be in trouble. Oh my God, this content creator said this publicly, right? And then you'd be in trouble.
You just did that yesterday, and you got away with it.
Chances are it wasn't a big deal back then, but it has definitely, things have changed. Look at how culture's changed in the last decade. There's now things you can't say today that you were able to say in the past and stuff like that. So it is what it is, right? But what I can tell you is, what YouTube will do, all right, they will look at videos like that and say, okay, we're not going to destroy you and your channel and your business, but we're going to, like, age restrict your video, so someone has to be an adult in order to watch it if you're using that kind of language. Sometimes they'll actually contact you directly about.
So right here, Phil's admitting that he's not age restricting his videos. Okay? All of Phil's content should be age restricted, because every day he's doing some kind of racist shit. He's using some kind of vulgar language. He's doing some kind of sexualized content. He's got his scat finish going on. He's slandering or defaming a game developer or another content creator. And the children that watch his stream, which the majority of his viewers are more than likely children, or children trapped in an adult's body, they will see that as okay, and then they'll go out in society and do the exact same thing. And then they'll get fucking punched in the head for that. And be like, oh, why did that happen? Because Mr. Phil said that was okay. Phil, you are a public figure. There are people, for whatever reason, consider you their idol. You are a disgusting piece of shit of a human being. And you do deserve to be deplatformed. But you're going to skirt by like the fucking slimy pig roach that you are.
About it, to say what was your intention with this video. Sometimes they'll just flag the video. It all depends. It depends on the situation, okay? But what I can tell you is, over the course of this last weekend, all right, there was a very concentrated effort to try to get DSP Gaming into trouble for shit that makes no sense. How are you going to hold me accountable for something 8 years ago that I said in a video that obviously I haven't said in the last 5 years since I changed as a content creator?
Yesterday, Phil, you used your Asian voice and made a racial comment about a character in the game. 24 hours ago, Phil, you did it. And you're about to slander a viewer here right away for calling you out. So stay tuned for that.
I would never say today, because I've acknowledged that to say something like that in content today would be wrong. I've apologized for it over the years for being like that back in the past. You know what I mean? That's like it's cancel culture. Can we cancel someone who's been a content creator for 14 years for something that they said a long time ago?
24 hours ago again, Phil. 24 hours again. You should be canceled. You should have been canceled years ago, but you skirted by.
The hilarious part about it is these kind of people who are doing this against DSP Gaming are the people who are the most vocally against cancel culture. They outright hate it unless they can employ it for their own purposes.
He doesn't understand cancel culture.
I can actually use this really fucked up thing to do something that I want, then I'll use it. But God forbid you apply it to me or anyone else that I like, but let's apply it to everyone we don't
want. And this
want,
has nothing to do with the stream.
It's pretty messed up, right? So, that being said, they tried and failed. Okay, they tried very tough over the weekend to try to prevent me from being able.
Well, according to you, Phil, they haven't, because you're one strike away from getting your channel deleted. So, have they failed? You've had 2 videos permanently changed and a ton of others that are now age restricted, and you've lost monetization. Super thanks on those videos. So have they really failed? And you're crying for support by using the stream as a weapon to extort more money out of your viewers, which you succeeded at doing. So did they really fail? No, Phil, they succeeded.
Able to stream my reaction to This Is How You Don't Play. And also, there's... Alright, let's just leave it at that for now. Alright, they tried and failed over the weekend. So
he was trying to come up with a lie there, but he knew he couldn't get away with it.
I know there's more coming. The question is, to what extent is it going to go? Alright, and in regards to that, you know, how much is YouTube willing to entertain? Because it's kind of a YouTube side thing, as well as a, you know, how far are trolls, detractors, whatever you want to call them, willing to go?
Poll. He's doing a Hogan poll.
All right. So, why are we talking about this today? Well, in the last few days, and I don't pay any attention to this shit. I literally don't. In fact, just so you guys know, because you probably don't know this, my Twitter is set up in a way that no one can respond to my tweets unless I follow them or I kind of approve it. All right. I only see certain trends and things that are more public. Like, for example, there's ridiculous amounts of idiots who try to say really fucked up things about myself, my family. Every time I tweet somewhere, they try to, like, respond and be nasty.
Because Kat's a disgusting individual, too. Remember, she cheated on Subaru Man, someone who she was in a relationship with for a long time, with you. A bum, paranoid bum living in a gated community because he's scared of his own shadow. Kat's a disgusting... And she married you to pretend to be your wife. Kat's a disgusting whore. Just like her sister, Jenna. And I'm allowed to say that because my video was age restricted. Your family is fucking disgusting, Phil. Like, Kat doesn't support the household whatsoever. She's married to you, but she's not married to you. She cheated on her boyfriend at the time with you. And she supports you in all the scams, the cons, the lies, the racism. the fake bank or the bankruptcy fraud, the tax fraud. She supported you in this so she can have a life of whatever she wants to call it. I wouldn't even consider it a life. That's disgusting, Phil. So when people make fun of Kat, she kind of deserves it. Just like you.
I have it set up so I can't see that shit. You know? Imagine if every time you tried to use a business, there was just fecal matter all over the wall. Well, I need to get through the fecal matter to get to the useful stuff behind it. I don't want to sift through the fecal matter. It's a waste of my time. So I have my Twitter set up so I don't see that. So I have no idea who's following me. I have no idea what they're saying towards me. I kind of stay in a lane where I can use Twitter for business purposes, and that's about it. That's the only reason I want to use Twitter moving forward. I'm not trying to use Twitter to relay personal messages or whatever. All right? So when people say things about me or throw things at me in regards to
Except the DMs between you and Superhound, you and OIC, you and Wings, that you use Twitter for. But again, you don't know who Wings is. You don't know this person whatsoever, but yet you follow him on Twitter and you have DMs that were leaked. Right? Again, it's more lies, Phil. It's more lies. Stop looking at your phone. Look at the camera. I know there's WWE event on, but now is not the time.
shit. Okay? I actually don't know anything about it. I'm the last person to know. There's been people saying, oh, did you know that the guy Superhound is tweeting at you and saying stuff? Nope. I don't know about that. I don't.
Yep. We have leaked DMs between you and Superhound. You saying to Superhound, I'm cool with it as long as it doesn't find its way back to me. Like, we get this all the time. Right? The PW Dub situation. Shit like that. You know everything that's going down. You're just like slimy Donald Trump, who you just don't want it to find its way back to you, but you know, and you've ordered all this shit. So, again, Phil, everybody knows you're lying, but you're going to use that to beg for money, and that's why people hate you.
See it, and I don't want to know about it. The less I know, the better, right? I just want to be here making positive content for you guys. I don't want to know about this fucked up stuff that's happening on the internet. I don't care, right? There's nothing I can do about it, so I don't even want to be, kind of involved in this shit, okay? So there you go. So I guess, and again, I'm not going to confirm, deny, or know anything about this. I guess what's happened is, if you guys haven't been following along with the news of the other content creators on the internet who are dramatic and have issues, because we all follow that so adamantly, right? I don't fucking care. I've even said on my streams, don't bring that shit up, I don't care. I guess what happened is in the last month, Wings of Redemption got basically taken down everywhere, YouTube and Twitch. And from what I'm to understand, and again, this is my very cursory glancing at the content because I don't want anything to do with it. I guess what happened was Wings' trolls took him to task because I guess what he's been doing, or at least been saying he's doing, is he threatens his trolls and says, I'll let you put up negative videos about me, but you have to pay me to do so. And if you don't, I'm going to basically abuse YouTube's DMCA system and hit you with a ton of false takedowns.
So Phil basically knows exactly what's going on. Right? Like, don't kid yourself. When Phil says he doesn't know anything about any other YouTubers, that's full of shit. Phil follows it like a fucking hawk. Okay? He knows everything about Wings. He knows everything about LTG. He knows everything about Ethan Ralph, Keemstar. He knows everything that goes on. And Phil's just lying because Phil wants, again, he's got to make himself look like the victim, right? And the hero in this story. And he's not, Phil. You're the villain. And you scammed viewers using this, which this alone should get you taken down from YouTube. Using false information to goat your viewers into giving you money, feigning distress like you're going to lose your condo again. This should get you banned from YouTube, but it won't.
Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if he's actually done this or not. But from the mess that's on the internet, you've got him saying one thing, you've got his trolls saying another thing, and I guess what his trolls are saying is, yeah, he's been abusing DMCA for like crazy. He's been false claiming our videos. He's been trying to shut down our accounts. And only because he decided to go to those extents, we've decided to now break the law as well and hit him with a ton of false stuff to try to take him down. So apparently they've hit him with false community strikes guidelines stuff. They've hit him with false copyright takedowns. They've hit him with everything. And again, this is just me trying to get a big level understanding. I don't know. I didn't look into the nuances of it and what really happened or what didn't. From what I'm to understand,
Wing's Twitch ban is legitimate. And then the ban evasion that Kelly pulled is legitimate. So Wing's losing his Twitch, fair game. Twitter, fair game as well. He was doing shit on Twitter that he shouldn't have been doing. The YouTube thing, yeah, that... Some of the strikes are legit, some of the strikes are not. Let's just put it that way. And then the whole Facebook thing, like, we all know why he got banned from Facebook gaming. Like that, like sympathizing with Hitler. That's a fucking no-no. Adolf Pigler here. Look at him. Fucking goof.
he had his streaming shut down on YouTube and Twitch. He had his ability to upload shut down on YouTube. He worked with YouTube and got stuff restored. But essentially, like, he doesn't even know what to do because any video he puts up can be falsely struck or something. Again, I don't even understand how that's possible or what the ins and outs of it are, okay? Now, here's what I don't understand, and maybe some people can explain this to me, all right? Because I need to understand the situation and maybe understand why this is happening to me, okay? In regards to Wings of Redemption, is it not true that there's a ton of channels that make fun of him regularly? There's a ton of restreamers that restream him regularly. There's people who make profit off of his content and enjoy deriding the guy on a daily basis, much like me, right? So, wouldn't it make sense? I mean, I think all that's correct, right? Wouldn't it make sense to leave the guy to be able to make content? This is what I kind of don't understand, is I can understand that you want to, like, mess with the guy or you're trying to torture him to milk more content out of him. I certainly don't agree with that. I don't, it shouldn't happen. It's completely messed up, and I'm against that practice, obviously. But what I don't understand is, if this is what they're doing, this is their daily shtick. This is what they get off doing. This is what they get their jollies doing. Keep the guy going. Mess with him. Right? Torture him. Laugh at his misfortunes, which is really fucked up, but that's how they kind of get along doing their stuff, right? Am I right? So what would be the purpose of shutting him down? This is what I kind of don't understand, right? You need him to keep making content and make a living doing it so you can keep attacking the content. If you shut him down...
Okay, let's explain this in autistic detail for Phil Burnell here. Phil Burnell thinks that all of us, all the detractors, trolls, whatnot, we all rely on the income that we get from making these videos. Now, I am not monetized. I make absolutely no money off of Phil. I do have a donations tab. I don't plug it. If people want to give me money, fine. Thank you very much. But it's not something I need. I have a job outside of doing this content. Why do I do this content? And I know I've answered this before. My goal is to have Phil Burnell deplatformed from everywhere so that he cannot prey on those who are more susceptible to coercion and getting conned or scammed by Phil, because I've seen this all my life. My brother is like this. Okay, he's financially ruined myself and my mom over his greed. He is probably worse than Phil in my eyes, and he's irredeemable. If Phil were to get deplatformed at the end of the day, like I said on the Meerkat's Discord, I will ride off into the sunset smoking a big fatty blunt. Okay? Now, will I disappear entirely? No, I'll still be within the community. Maybe I'll do some live gameplay streams, just hanging out with other detractors, shooting the breeze, talking about the history of the pig roach. But that is my goal, is to bring awareness, public awareness, to people that view Phil to not give him any money. Do not support this man. Okay? He's right now, like, he is playing WWE champions on stream while he's doing this, begging for money. So that's why I do what I do. Okay? I don't plan to make money off of Phil's content. Neither do the Wings trolls. A lot of the Wings trolls, they don't make money off of Wings. 007 does, but that guy's kind of a scumlord to begin with. Most of the content creators, like Meerkat makes money, but Meerkat makes some awesome edited content on Phil. Okay? Same as Raven's Dolphin, same as Shinko, same as King Jad. King Jad has bingo that people play along with. It's an interactive stream. Phil likes to call his stream interactive. How do you interact? You don't, unless they're talking about you or praising you. So Phil not understanding, like, why Wings is gone. Nobody cares about making money off of you guys, Phil. Nobody cares about making money off of lolcows. There are some. We do have some within the Goutverse that are here only for the money. I'm not going to name names. But, like, we don't care. If you go bye-bye, Phil, I think a lot of us would just give a sigh of relief and just be like, finally, we've succeeded. We've gotten rid of him. He can't scam anybody anymore. That is my goal. Now, I'm not going to do anything illegal to attain that goal. I'm just going to do what I'm doing now. I'm going to debunk you. I'm going to report on your bullshit. And when you do racist, sexist, homophobic, slanderous, defamatory shit on your stream, I will report you for it. And I've done that on my videos. And I'll continue to do that until the day you're deplatformed.
You've essentially shut down your source of content. What are you going to do? And the thing is, you say, oh, move on to the next person. All right, but how many people can you do it to before effectively you've done it all and you're bored? You know what I'm saying? Like, you already have the gravy train rolling. Why would you shut off your source of gravy? Don't you like gravy? It's delicious. Right?
See, but this is the Burnell mentality, right? It always comes down to greed. That's the bottom line. Money, money, money. Phil doesn't realize that this community, a lot of us have become friends. A lot of us talk outside of the community. Okay? We have the friendship. Phil doesn't need friends, right? Phil's got a wife. He doesn't need friends anymore. Fuck him. Again, it just comes down to money. That's all that matters in Phil's life is money, 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 money. Nothing else matters. His parents don't matter. His adopted sister/cousin, fuck that bitch. He doesn't give a shit about her. Fuck John and Howard. Fuck those guys. They stabbed him in the back even though he refused to pay them. So Phil doesn't understand the concept of relationships, the concept of living a life rather than sitting behind a gate because you're too scared of your own shadow to come out. And this is why you're like, look at the fucking smirk on his face. He's thinking, oh yeah, these detractors, if they get rid of me, they're going to be living on the street too. Now, Phil, I have a fucking full-time job outside of this shit. I do this, and I've said why. And plus, I have made a lot of friends within the community that I enjoy hanging out with and talking on a regular basis. You don't have that relationship with your fellow lolcows. You guys, like you said, you stay in your own lane because you're afraid of what might happen.
Right? So why, I don't understand that. Like, why would you try to shut it down? It really confuses me. Now, if the situation here is that, oh, Wings is actually trying to shut down all of his trolls from making that content further, then I maybe could say, okay, maybe that makes sense if they feel that he's abusing the copyright takedown system, right? And that's why they're going after him in this method now. Like, you're already shutting us down, so we might as well shut you down too. Like, what do they call it? Tit-a-tat or whatever, you know? Then maybe that makes sense. Eye for an eye. In some kind of a very basic way. I still don't think it makes logical sense when they want that content to keep coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard for me to try to understand the mentality of these people, all right? I really try sometimes to put myself in their head. It's very difficult for me to understand where they're coming from, okay? So, again, why am I bringing this up? Because apparently, from what I'm understanding, this is from people telling me, not because I'm following or I know anything about it. People are like, well, are you aware that because Wings got shut down, now apparently he's not, I guess he's still streaming, I don't know. But are you aware that because Wings got shut down or whatever, that now his trolls are saying they're coming after you? To which I would respond, huh?
You challenged them, Phil. You challenged the trolls on Saturday when you did, and Friday, when you slandered and harassed and defamed Evil AJ. You challenged the trolls to come after you and content strike you. And they've done it. And it's worked because you're creating this video crying for support that you might lose your channel.
Like, Wings trolls have issues with Wings from all the things he said and done over the years. They feel like he said and done really messed up things. To some extent, I guess they believe that he's lied about his use of money, that he frequently does messed up things on the internet or whatever. You know,
Phil, you've lied with the shit that you've done with your money. You tell people you're paying bills, and then you go and blow $1,000 on iTunes credits. You tell people you can't buy groceries, and you go out and you spend $300+ on haircuts for you and Kat. And then you're at the sushi bar with Kat. But you didn't make that much money on the stream the night before. You've done fucked up things. You groomed a 16, 17-year-old girl, Leanna, to become your girlfriend when you were 26, 27. You scammed your friends. You scammed your mother and father. You scammed your aunt and uncle who have passed away. Called them crackheads and drug addicts. Right? You tried to scam people saying that you lost $9,000 out of your bank account when Boof did the bank leaks, which was a fucking lie. You lied to the bankruptcy court about your income when you said you only made $5,000 a month when you were making 10 to 15. So that is what you are doing, Phil. You do shady, fucked up shit, and people call you out for it. But then you double down and make it even worse.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the situation, it's like, apparently his trolls have a whole ongoing case against him, right? That's what it is. So, what I don't understand is, so you shut the guy down. We're going to move on to someone else now. We're going to move on to DSP. What? Like, I don't get it. But you don't watch my content. You don't know anything, you know, you have no grudge against me. Certainly I have no grudge with you. I don't even know who you are.
Most of the trolls, Phil, the diehard trolls, follow more than one lolcow. I followed Wings. I follow you primarily because I think you're one of the most disgusting pieces of shit out there. But I follow Wings. I follow LTG. I follow Charlie Zelenov. I follow Jason Genova. Like, there are other lolcows out there that I'll follow. And I'll just laugh at the stupid shit they do. And maybe, yes, maybe when you're finally deplatformed, you're living on the street, I will maybe start reporting on the shit that Charlie Zelenov does. Not walking up to random people in the street and punching them in the head. Right? So, just because you think Wings trolls are done with Wings doesn't mean that those trolls are also following you at the same time. It's the lolcow extended universe is what it is, Phil.
Why would you move on to the next? That doesn't even make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, just from a logical standpoint, you want people on the internet to make the content you can make fun of. By shutting them down, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Oops, we shot ourselves in the foot. There's nothing to make fun of today. Let's move on to the next guy and shut him down. But where does any of this make sense? There's no sense behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who these people are. I really don't. I have no relationship to them. I've never spoken with them. I've never done anything negative towards them. To my knowledge, they don't do anything negative towards me. You know what I'm saying? And even if they did, even if they decided, you know what, we're bored with Wings, let's make fun of Phil today, I wouldn't care. I don't shut down the people who do it now. I've never abused the MCA. I've never abused any of YouTube systems. I'm staunchly against that because I've had it done to me in the past. So why would you say we're gonna move on from Wings to Phil when I'm not doing the things that apparently you didn't like Wings for? I'm not. Again, I think what happens is these people have this weird mindset that we're all the same. I couldn't be further.
You're identical to Wings, Phil. And he's about to get up here and try to compare his weight to Wings when we're talking about the mentality of a lolcow. They're all the same. They're all greedy, they don't want to work, and they're going to beg for money. That is the mentality of a lolcow. Okay? Now, you have abused YouTube stuff before. Okay? You've done DMCAs, false DMCAs, you've done that before, or you've had people do it in your name so that it can't follow its way back to you. You have broken YouTube TOS on many times and gotten away with it. You've broken YouTube community guidelines many times and gotten away with it. So, you saying that you've never abused, and you abused the YouTube algorithm. Instead of uploading your live stream, which has all your views, all your likes, and everything on it, you will private that, losing all those analytics, and then you've chopped up your live stream into 4 different parts so you can upload 4 or 5 different videos instead of uploading one long video to game the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube search and to spam the inbox of your viewers and subscribers, members. That is actually against YouTube TOS and community guidelines. That is in there. Okay, because you're doing what's called false engagement. Okay, you're spamming videos with the exact same title. So that technically is against YouTube TOS. And I'm going to do a video, but it's going to take a lot of time to do, which goes into how Phil has broken YouTube TOS and community guidelines in the past. And because there's a good page on the YouTube TOS here that, let me see if I can bring it up, that goes into all of this. Okay, I can't type right now. I'm so tired from work. Just look for the community guidelines. So right here is a nice big section right here of permissions and restrictions, okay? Then you have the content policies and guidelines, which you get into, which is even bigger, right? And this goes into, has Phil done fake engagement? Yes. Has he done external links? Yes. Spam, deceptive practices? Yes, right? Child safety? Yeah, because he doesn't fucking restrict his videos. Nudity or sexual content? Yes. Vulgar language? Yes. Harassment and cyberbullying? Yes. Harmful and dangerous acts? Yes. Hate speech? Yes. Like, this is all misinformation. COVID-19 medical misinformation Phil has done. So this is stuff that Phil has done time and time again, but he gets away with it because of his status on YouTube.
Away as a content creator from Wings or LTG or any of these other people who you guys tend to crap on and have issue with. If anything, the one thing you can probably argue about in the modern day that you have issue with me about is that I ask for contributions from my viewers, right? I do. And no one's going to deny that. I mean, I'd be dumb as shit to say I don't do that. Of course I do. You know? But outside of that, I don't abuse the MCA. I'm not constantly going out there out of my way to talk about the negative shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of head scratching to me. And the hilarious part about all this is I would like to show you guys something. Okay? And this is not me trying to brag or anything. I need to show you something.
Here we go.
Okay? Okay? I'm not sucking in my gut right now. Okay? I swear to God I'm not. You see me, right? Okay, you notice something about me. Alright? Then you look at my...
Yeah, you're a slob. You have no muscle or vein definition within your arms. Remember, you said that you used to bodybuild, but that's full of shit unless you've atrophied yourself like crazy. Okay? You're wearing a baggy shirt that's... You can see your love handles on the side, Phil, because you're a slob and your man boobs, okay? Now, I ain't no spring chicken myself. I'm fat. I don't give a fuck. Phil tries to make it look like that he's working out every day and he's doing this and that. That's not what we're talking about to you, Phil, when we're comparing you to Wings. We're comparing your mentality, your cons, your scams that you and Wings pull. They're identical. Beg for money, lie to you users, extort money from your viewers. That's what we're talking about.
My body for a second. You notice something, right? I'm not Wings. Really, no, I'm not Wings of Redemption. I don't know if you can tell. I don't look like him. I don't sound like him. I don't act like him. I don't put out the content like him. I'm not his size or proportions. Literally, people will come on streams and say shit like, Phil is fat and Phil is this and that. Make jokes as if I'm Wings of Redemption. Okay? I am not Wings of Redemption. I don't understand where you're coming from. In my mind, in my body, everything here on this channel, does this look anything like you would find on Wings of Redemption's channel? Where does the confusion come in exactly? If you want to make fun of me, all right, that's one thing. Make fun of me for what I do wrong. Tell me I shouldn't ask my viewers for contributions. Tell me my content sucks. Make fun of me for the things I do, not for what I don't. Because what it seems to me is that there's this really weird association between me and Wings that what do I have to do with that? Right? Nothing. So now you're telling me there's a group of trolls who don't like Wings because Wings has done these awful things in their mind over the years, and he's mistreated people, and he's blown money, and he's lied about money, and he abuses YouTube's DMCA. Let's get Wings. Okay, we got Wings. Let's get Phil. Wait, what? Where does that even come from? I have nothing to do with the guy. Seriously. I have nothing to fucking do. It doesn't make sense at all to me. And by the way, this isn't like an edict measuring contest. Say I'm better than the guy or worse than the guy. The point I'm making is I'm not Wings of Redemption. So why would you make some kind of a weird, concerted effort to try to take down me or my business when I have nothing to do with Wings or you? That's what I don't understand. Like, if there could be a justification, like, oh, well, you know, this, what exactly have I done? Right?
You've done the exact same scams that Wings has done. Wings wanted the age of consent lowered to 12. You groomed a 16, 17-year-old girl. Wings begs for money. You beg for money. Wings refuses to get a job. You refuse to get a job. You did a React content monetizing Wings to make money for yourself. And then Wings laughed at you and appeared on Review Tech USA, and they both laughed at you. Like, Phil, when you look at a lol cow, just because you're not LTG or you're not Wings doesn't mean you're the same shitty person that these lol cows make themselves out to be. Or are, I should say, right? LTG is a narcissistic son of a bitch, right? And he deserves to be deplatformed. Wings deserves to be deplatformed. You deserve to be deplatformed. Because you guys spread misinformation, you scam and con susceptible people out of money, because your lazy ass doesn't want to get out there and get a job. And, of course, because you challenge the Wings trolls. So, therefore, now they're coming after you. And now you're all upset because they're actually coming after you.
I'm at a loss. I have enough shit from people on a daily basis who try to bring me down, who try to ruin my business, who try to do messed up things to me and my family. Trust me. It happens every day, all day. Well, I'm going to give you a perfect example here. You ready for this one? Of how I'm not like Wings. My wife moved to Connecticut, moved to Washington State with me and moved in with me in 2018.
Not with you, Phil. You had brought your groomed woman with you, girl with you, to Washington. Kat cheated on her boyfriend with you, kicked her ass to the fucking curb. She had nowhere to go, so she came to live with you. That is the story of you and Kat, okay? Which is a fucking disgusting story, because once a cheater, always a cheater. It's that simple.
All right? Over the course of that year, she maybe was in 5 videos and a stream, okay? We maybe put out a small handful of pictures on the internet of her arriving and stuff like that, okay? Outside of that, it has been radio silent when it comes to my wife. The only time you hear about Kat is when I talk about, oh, something we did on our day off, or what are we up to, what are we having for dinner today. That's when you hear about my wife, Kat, right? She's not in my videos. She doesn't contribute to any kind of discussion or anything in regards to my content or my business. She very much is a part of my personal life that I've made an effort.
Yeah, but Phil, you talk about her all the time, like when she breaks a vacuum or she plugs the garbage disposal, right? You lie about her working when she doesn't have a job anymore because she's been fired from her job, like you. Okay, we have the leaked picture that she supposedly put on a ton of weight because of all the DoorDash you guys do. You really want to take your wife out for a meal even though you can't afford it every week, so you shouldn't be going out for a meal. You can hear Kat vacuuming in the background as you're streaming. Okay, you have her sister Jenna, who's a homeless prostitute in California. You hear about her homeless mom, who's also a prostitute in Michigan. Okay? You don't want to bring Kat on your channel anymore or on your streams because then you will no longer be the center of attention. The attention will then be split between you and Kat, and you being a narcissist cannot have that. Even, like, again, you're wearing your wedding ring here to try to make it like you're a mature adult, but when you're not on stream, you don't wear your wedding ring because the marriage really isn't real. She's just a roommate. You have a contractual agreement between the two of you that she will pretend to be your wife while you stream, but outside of that, she really isn't your wife. And then she can live under your roof for free as you are bringing in money, but as soon as that money dries up, what do you think she's going to do, Phil? Like, if you get deplatformed and you cannot make any money anymore, what do you think Kat's going to do? She ain't going to stick by you. She's going to find the next cuck out there and start talking to them on Twitter about her OBS. And then she's going to cheat on you and then leave for that guy. Then you're back living with Mama and Papa Burnell in Connecticut. So that's something to think about, Phil, because you've gotten yourself into that situation again. That's not the trolls. That's not your family back in Connecticut that caused that. You caused that because you want to seem like that more mature adult, even though you have no responsibilities as an adult. Let's just put it that way.
To separate from my public life. She's not part of DSP Gaming. Okay? You guys made it clear years ago that if she ever became a major part of DSP Gaming, you were going to tear her a new asshole for no good reason. She's never said anything to hurt anyone on the internet. She's literally never done anything messed up to anyone on the internet. Okay?
Except she cheated on Subaru Man with a pathological liar, narcissist, scam artist, con man, disgusting fucking individual on the internet. Okay.
So why people would be nasty to her, I have no idea. So in 2018, we did a stream. I think it was 2018. Was it Halloween 2018? She's on my Halloween marathon. She dresses up in a costume. These people make an active effort to come to my stream and literally just insult her.
This was fucking hilarious because this stream that he's talking about here, she was dressed up in a costume because she was going to go out to a Halloween party with some coworkers / friends. Phil would rather sit in front of his camera dressed like a fucking retard and play video games rather than going with his wife. The same shit happened with Leanna. Remember when Leanna's brother was getting married and Phil instead sat in the hotel room streaming the entire time instead of going to the wedding with Leanna? And you wonder why she dumped your fucking ass, Phil?
Bring up personal things about things from her past life that has nothing to do with her life now with me today. And they're just like slamming her on my stream. Now, my moderators are doing the best to clean it up. If she sees it,
like
gets
Tyrone?
incredibly upset over it and makes the determining decision. I never want to be in your content ever again. because I don't deserve to sit there and be abused and attacked by an audience I don't know, have never had interaction with, and don't insult or do anything with. All right? Here's another thing I have to say. My wife is not my ex, and I'm tired of this bullshit. All right? My ex was a very abrasive person who would attack people on the internet and cause issues.
So he throws Leanna under the bus here, right? He throws Leanna under the bus. This is fucking hilarious. Okay? Remember, he sent her that song, Baby Come Back? Remember he had it on the radio and everything after she dumped his ass? So he's throwing Leanna under the bus. Now, if Kat were to dump Phil, divorce Phil, take half of what he has, then Phil would fucking slander her and move on to the next floozy or whatever that he could find on Twitter. Right? This shows the disgusting individual that Phil is. Right? He groomed a 16, 17-year-old girl, had her move across the country with him. She finally woke up and dumped his ass, so he turns around and slanders her. After the anxiety attack where he told the paramedics just to leave her in the fucking alleyway or whatever, give her a pill and leave her wherever she is. And then he made a video, but the video was all lies because they were already broken up at the time and he was still, but then the video, he said they were still together, then he admitted years later that they weren't. So, again, like, Phil, you're doing it right here. You're talking about your personal life, and you don't want people to pry into your personal life. Stop. Stop what you're doing. But this is how you beg for sympathy and money. This is why you need to be deplatformed.
My wife is not my fucking ex. She has nothing to do with her, and I'm tired of this shit. It has to end at some point. Where you're going to act like now all negativity that was thrown towards people from my past gets thrown towards people in my present. Fucking stop. All right? She doesn't deserve the shit that she gets on a daily basis because people are just fucked in the head.
She deserves everything she gets, Phil, because she's a disgusting human being just like you. Right? She married a man for money. She cheated on a man for another man for money. That's basically what it comes down to. She's a whore, Phil. You married a whore.
And just have to think that she is she's not a target for anyone. She hasn't done anything. You see? Now, what's the difference between me and Wing? Wings does have his wife in his content. Wings does have videos and streams and pictures with his wife in it. Obviously, then people are going to attack her. All right? So they were kind of expecting that, right? I don't even do that. I purposely said, I'm drawing the line. I'm just going to put out content for you guys that's separate from the other shit. That way we don't have to deal with that. And people do it anyway. They go out of their way to seek out personal shit about me and my life, my family members, their backgrounds, all kinds of fucked up stuff. The doxing. It's awful. It's terrible. It's really fucked up what people have done.
Phil, you have doxed people. You have threatened people about giving your moderators their information. You have done that repeatedly. PW Dubs. Prime example. He showed his fucking driver's license on screen. Okay? You've done that. Now, as for us doxing you, remember, you have registered Burnell Productions publicly. Jenna shows the van in the street corner she's living on publicly. Okay? There's no shit that is being done to you that you haven't done to others. Okay? So, what you've done is not off limits to you. Let's just put it that way. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to dox your parents or Melissa or anything like that. Those people are as much a victim as Leanna is or John and Howard are. Okay? You victimized your family, just like my brother has done to myself, my mother, my stepfather, and my aunts, my uncles, and my cousins. Okay? But again, you're a narcissist. You're always the victim, never the villain.
In regards to just anything around me. And I don't have any control over it. I can't stop those people from doing these messed up things. I feel awful to anyone who gets this thing through. I mean, especially my wife, but other people too. Fans, viewers, other people associated get negatively affected by this shit, okay? So again, I gotta ask the question, how am I Wings of Redemption? I haven't done the things that you guys have issues with him. I don't have people coming on my streams involved. Why are you treating me like someone I'm not? And how on earth do you make that association and feel that that's fair? That's nuts. That doesn't make any sense at all. Go after Darkside Phil, who is not the person we hate, because we already took down the person we hate. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you not understand? You've now begun the road to your own destruction. If you start taking down everyone on the internet, right, you're going to have nothing left to make fun of. And right now, you're in a...
Good, Phil. Very good. Then we can relax. We can all play games together. And know that what we have done is cleanse the internet of the filth that is the lolcow. Again, you don't understand the mentality that you share with Wings, LTG, Ethan Ralph, all those fucking idiots out there on the internet. That's why the trolls go after multiple people. Because to us, you're all the same. Right? You're a cancer on society that needs to be cut out. Right? I need to protect people from giving you money. That money they should use for themselves or use for their loved ones, rather than giving you money so that you can get sweaty men JPEGs, make racist comments or sexist comments or homophobic comments on your channel and get away with it.
A protected position, because right now there really are no laws or regulations against online trolling. There's starting to be, as you're seeing. It's getting so bad in certain cases. There's people who are committing.
There's always been laws, Phil. You've had people that have given life sentences for swatting where someone's been killed. Okay, it's called cybersecurity, Phil. That's what it's called. It's called cybersecurity. There are laws on the internet to protect people from people like you. Right? You're just the new version of the Nigerian prince that has $1 million for you. That's all you are, Phil. Okay, you're an online scam artist. And one day, stuff like this will be outlawed. Where you won't, like, what if YouTube instituted a new rule that said you can only use their monetization system and you couldn't ask for PayPal donations? Actually, I'm pretty sure that is in here. That's in the YouTube TOS guidelines. External links. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to let you talk while I find this.
Suicide. And now you have the FBI and you have other legal bodies looking into places like Kiwi Farms and other places for this kind of shit going down. All right? You've had your way for a long time. You would think you would know that and enjoy it, rather than like saying, listen, we're really having a good time doing what we're doing. Let's overstep and shoot ourselves in the foot. Like, why would you do that? I know it's kind of weird trying to appeal, like, logically to people who obviously don't care about that, because if they have, any kind of... You know what? Let me put it this way. The reason I'm appealing logically is because it's obviously these people don't have morals. If they did, they wouldn't do what they're doing to begin with, right? They don't have morals. So I have to try to appeal logically to them. You understand? If you shut down Wings permanently, if you shut down me permanently, if you shut down LTG, if you shut down Review Tech USA, if you shut down every lolcow on the internet, you have nothing left. And the worse it gets, the more you escalate, the more you break the law, the more you violate to do it. It's one thing to just make fun, because that could be protected. But when you're breaking the law to do what you're doing, you actually are going to end up destroying yourselves. It's going to get looked into, and things are going to end up changing for the worse for you. I can't believe I'm actually kind of saying this, but I'm trying to help you not destroy yourselves, because you are at this point going too far with the way that you're trying to go about doing this stuff. You understand? There's a difference between let's make fun of someone and get off doing it and benefit from doing it. I don't agree with the practice, but I'm never going to take that down. I guess Wings did. I did not. But when you try to actively go out of your way to break the law, right, to try to take someone down, it can only last for so long. All right? And you are, at this point, from what I've heard from the shit that's going down, like I said, people actually taking their own lives and stuff, it's going to get worse and worse. And I don't want to see the internet completely locked down and completely policed like some kind of a...
Right here. Circumvent, disable, fraudulently engage with, or otherwise interfere with any part of the service or attempt to do any of these things. Right? Technically, that can mean asking, instead of using YouTube's monetization system, give to PayPal. Right? Here's another one. Cause or encourage an inaccurate measurement of genuine user engagement with services, including by paying people or providing them with incentives to increase video views, likes, or dislikes, or to increase a channel subscriber, or otherwise manipulate metrics in any manner. So when you're telling people that you're going to offer them a reward if you reach us by putting on a hat, or if they reach a certain membership goal, that you're going to do a react content, this is breaking YouTube TOS, Phil. So, got an answer for that?
A police state? I don't. But that's the way it's going to go if you keep going the way you're going. You can, there's making fun, then there's trolling, then there's detracting. There's these different levels. But when you take it to the level of just hurt people as far as we...
No, Phil. There really isn't any levels. Okay? What you want is you want to be allowed to scam, con people on the internet for money because you don't want to get a job. And you don't want to have any repercussions or anybody reporting on the shit that you pull so that you can do it freely without any remorse, without any morals or ethics behind it. Right? But you have people like us that have morals, that have ethics, and say, no, that shit's not going to fly here. Okay? Stop scamming, stop conning, stop begging, stop being racist, stop with the vulgarity. Get a fucking job, and maybe once in a while stream a video game for yourself, for people. Okay? But this shit is going to stop, and that's what these trolls are going to do. I thought it would take longer, but people are going to circumvent it by doing false copyright strikes, which I don't agree with. And now you're scared shitless because you have nothing to fall back on.
We don't even care what the end game is. Even if we kill ourselves doing it in the process, we're destroying our own benefit. How does that make sense? You got to think in your head for a second. I get it. You get your jollies off. Ha ha ha. Wings of Redemption can't stream anymore. But now you have no content. Move on to the next. Well, now I'll have no content. It's just going to end at some point. You see? So anyway. Obviously, hopefully this is making sense to some people. All right? Now I need to tell you what's going on with DSP Gaming. All right? I received false copyright strikes against the channel. Not happy about this. I've not had a false copyright strike in many years, and the last time that I had one, I was able to clear it up relatively quickly because the person was impersonating someone they were not. And I was able to prove that, and within, I think it was about a day and a half, YouTube had removed the copyright strikes, and everything was fine, and since then I haven't had an issue.
That's because you left YouTube when you lost your Curse partnership and no longer had AdSense. So you ran to Twitch. And when you ran to Twitch, you ran back here. So technically, you didn't have an issue because you were no longer working here. But you had issues on Twitch. Tons of fucking issues on Twitch. It continued when you went over there.
Okay? What I have now is I have strikes against my channel that are completely false. All right? I have legal evidence that they are false.
Okay. Show us the evidence, Phil. If you say you have evidence that they're false, show us the evidence. We know the video on Monday that was struck because you had transgender vulgarity in the title and in the video, which was corrected. Your videos yesterday that all got age restricted, which was in YouTube's right, and you said that earlier here in the podcast. And then you have the one from today, which is a gray area. I think it's slimy, but at the same time, the guy that struck you is in full right of doing so. So you're about to tell us with all these other strikes that you have, we need the proof, because we only know that there's one current content strike, copyright strike, against your channel. Just one. We don't know about the rest. We have no evidence on the rest, so we need to see this evidence, Phil.
Let's put it that way. This person does not have a leg to stand on issuing false strikes against DSP Gaming at all. There's no way that they can make a legal claim the way that they're doing. It's an abuse of the law, okay? But YouTube...
And that's misinformation, because that's Phil's right here. Whoops, wrong way. That's under misinformation. Phil is providing legal recourse, let's just put it that way, and trying to think that Phil knows the law. Phil doesn't know the law. Meth Bear and I spoke about this last week when it came to the copyright strikes and the fair use. Phil will claim, of course, in his mind, when it's done against him, that it's against the law. But then it's okay for Phil to steal Evil AJ's video, re-upload it to his channel, and then make money off of it. Okay? So, providing misinformation is against YouTube's terms of service and community guidelines, and should be cause for Phil to fake a strike or face a ban. Actually, I'd like to have this up here during this video so we can laugh at Phil.
Basically needs to entertain it. They need to look into it. So here's what's happened this morning. I go to turn on I go to turn on my stream, and I get a pop-up saying you have copyright strikes against the channel. Multiple, not one, multiple. Okay? You need to address these, and then if you...
Okay, Phil, let's see the dashboard. I want to see the dashboard that shows these multiple copyright strikes. I really do. I want to see this right now, this very second, Phil. You can't, because you probably only have one content strike that we know of.
You get one more, your channel can be terminated permanently and blah, blah, blah. It's the generic shit that they put in there, all right? So, first thing I had to do was immediately counterclaim, which says, no, this is nonsense. It's not legal. If they want to take me to court, they have to take me to court. Remove this immediately, okay? Which I did, all right? That's the first step you take. Sadly, with YouTube's system, it takes way too long for shit like that to clear up. It takes 2 business weeks to have that shit reversed, all right? So...
7 days. It's actually in the YouTube agreement. It's actually... Let me see if I can bring it up here. I posted a picture of it on Meerkat's Discord. Or that being said as well. I'm going to bring that up here. Look, Meth Bear is messaging me. Chad, you motherfucker! He's stealing my content. You guys can't see that. I'm just in Meerkat's Discord. And fucking Chad is posting my shit. I'm going to fight you, Chad. I'm going to fight you in Rocket League. In Rocket League. Okay, here. So I can't share this window. So how does a copyright strike actually happen? So Phil has... If you get 3 copyright strikes, your account along with any associated channels is subject to termination. All the videos uploaded to your account will be removed. You can't create new channels. This is if you get 3. Okay? Resolve a copyright strike. Wait for it to expire. Copyright strikes expire after 90 days. If it's your first strike, you'll need to complete the copyright school. It's not Phil's first strike, so Phil knows this. get a retraction. You can get in touch with the person who claimed your video and ask them to retract the claim. Phil probably hasn't done this. Submit a counter notification. If you think your video was removed, mistake, or qualifies for fair use, you can submit a counter clarification, which takes up to 7 business days. So Phil's lying already in this. And again, hold on, because I'm looking at fucking Jad here, because I'm going to fucking fight him. He's pissed off because I have a better screen than he does. It's on, Jad. It's on. You and me, fucking Rocket League.
So, essentially now for 2 business weeks, I'm at risk that if anything else happens to the channel, it could get shut down completely. All right? Now,
And that's false. If Phil faces up to 3 strikes within 90 days, yes, his channel's going to be terminated. And he'll have to deal with it. Now, he can, like Wings, counterclaim all of them and get it cleared up. And that's what Wings did, and Wings' channel on YouTube is back. He just faced a 7-day ban.
I don't feel that I'm going to have the channel shut down completely in any way, shape, or form. I'll always get it back. The problem is if this channel gets shut down, I have to make a living. As I've explained to you guys, I am in a situation, all right, where I do not have flexibility financially. I do not have money in the bank. I have no savings. I have to work 6 days a week full time to make a living, to make ends meet, to pay my bills. Okay? So.
But whose fault is that, Phil? That's not the trolls. That's not detractors. That's not your viewers' fault. That is your fault. Okay? You're the one that decided to pick up and leave Connecticut when you didn't have to. But you wanted a bigger place for you and your groomed female friend. Okay? And then you took off to the other side of the country because you had burnt your bridges with everybody in Connecticut. Okay? You filled 13 credit cards in doing so, totaling almost $500,000 in credit card debt. Then you announced bankruptcy, which fucked you over. But you're going to lie about something here, and then we're going to bring that up here right away, and we're going to show people that Phil really isn't hard off to do here. Like, he can actually fix a lot of his problems right away, but we'll give it a couple minutes.
If I can't stream 6 days a week, I can't pay my bills. I will lose things. I will go into financial ruin, and it will ruin my life. You understand that? All right? Now, I think that some people think that's funny or is acceptable because of these conspiracy theories on the internet about me. Okay? It's not. All right? It is not fair because here's the thing, and here's what you got to understand too. Even if you hate me, let's say you absolutely positively hate Phil for some various reason. Who knows what they are, right? I am not the only person who I support. I have a wife, and I have Jasper, right?
Okay, your wife supposedly works. She has her own income. If you're supporting her, that tells us that she is not working again, which I was 100% sure of in the first place because she's been home for the last fucking 4 days straight. Okay? Again, I don't give a fuck about your cat, Jasper. Okay? You should give him to another family to have a better life than what he has with you. He fucking hates you. Jasper's our inside man. He's the one that got you caught playing WWE. Can we get some prayer hands and comments for fucking Jasper for doing this? Okay? You're the one that made the decision, the contractual agreement with Kat, that she will pretend to be your wife so that you can be a more mature adult. Okay? Your agreement with her is that you will pay for everything. Like I said, as soon as that money dries up, she's going to fuck right off. Then what are you going to do? Okay? You have done this to yourself. This is not anybody's problem, and you're bringing up your personal behind-the-scenes matters again when you're asking people not to be involved in your personal behind-the-scenes matters. All right, Phil? Do you understand what I'm saying here now? I am the same age as you, and I have a million times more common sense than you do.
I have to support them. If you take away my business and I can't work. I have no money to support them. You understand? And what's funny is these people make up the most dumb shit like, oh, what you could do is you could just sell your house or something.
There's
no,
a
I
ban.
cannot.
Yes, you can.
If I sell my home, I'd have to get another. I can't afford another home. I have no money. I have no credit. I can't even take out a loan to buy another home. Okay? I have no credit. I can't even go through the whole process of getting an apartment. The apartment holder would say, well, you have terrible...
Nope. Okay, so let's prove this wrong here. This is Burnell Productions, the address for Burnell Productions. Burnell Productions, okay? As you can see, Phil bought the home May 2014, $265,000. It is now estimated at $637,000, so nearly $400,000 in equity. Now, again, I'm allowed to use this address because it is publicly available on all realty sites in America, the United States, and because he's registered Burnell Productions publicly, and if I search for Burnell Productions in Seattle, up comes the company. And here is the company. Closes soon. Okay? So Phil fucked up and registered the company publicly, which, of course, the address is available. So $637,000 is what it is currently valued at. Now, Phil's not going to get this because Phil didn't do an inspection when he bought it, paid the bare minimum for the down payment, which his parents gave him, which was 5%. And Phil ended up with a pretty shitty condo. It has a massive leak in the roof in one of the upstairs bedrooms closets. He's got the problems with the carburetor. He has no AC. So Phil's not going to get the asking, like the estimated price of $637,000, but he's still going to make, I would venture a guess Phil would make $250,000 to $300,000 on what he originally made. What he originally paid on the house. So he's going to make a big chunk of change. That means he has equity in the house. He can refinance on the house. There's nothing stopping him from refinancing. The bankruptcy didn't affect that. So that means Phil can fix this himself. Okay? And this would in turn fix a lot of the financial situation that Phil is in. Now, he should be done his back tax payment in December. Okay, that's what Meth Bear and I and Peace all agree upon. Do we actually think it's going to happen? I doubt it. He'll still continue to beg. He's probably still going to owe. He's probably still increased payments because he's not paying it properly. But just looking at the amount of money he can make off of selling the condo and moving into somewhere smaller, possibly maybe just renting instead of buying, because he basically can't afford to live where he's living anymore. He can do that. That is his option. There's nothing stopping him. He has no liens. There's no locks against his property. So this can be, he can sell his condo. Like if he's so financially strapped, he can refinance, which would be a fucking mistake because he'd be paying higher interest on what he refinances on, which is going to be, well, again, $265,000. Like he might still be okay, but he can do it, or he can sell it and walk away with a big chunk of change and then reevaluate. But what do you think is going to happen if Phil refinances or sells the condo? That money is going to be gone in under a week. Okay, he'll buy some stupid retarded shit. He'll fucking blow most of it on fucking WWE, DoorDash, and gin. We know that for a fact. That's going to happen. So he does have the option to do this. He just doesn't understand. He can't grasp the situation that he's in, or he doesn't want to. Just food for thought.
Credit and you're unreliable, so therefore, we're not going to grant you the ability to even get an apartment. I literally, if I lose this house, I have nowhere to go. You understand? I'm stuck here. Now, my hope is that over the next 10 years or so, my credit will get better, and eventually in the long term, I can either refinance this home or do something to save myself from the situation I'm in, right?
In 10 years, we will be right back in the same situation that he's in right now. Because once he's able, like Meth Bear said, he could probably go and get a credit card right now. He could walk into Bank of America and go, you know, I need like a $500 credit card. They give it to him. Okay? But that credit card would be filled instantly. Because Phil cannot manage the money. He will be right back in this situation. Again, he has no aspects of getting a job whatsoever. Right? He's going to try and do this. Like, this is the same thing, like the 10-year plan he gave to his mom. Right? The 10-year plan. That plan went by the wayside. That was all full of shit. Now he's got a new 10-year plan. Right? That he's going to be able to refinance his mortgage. That's going to be a big fucking no-no because of the high interest rates. His best bet is you cannot live in the situation that you are currently in. Sell the condo. Rent an apartment. Downsize. Like what is he paying? He's paying $1,800 plus for his mortgage. Then he's paying his condo dues on top of that. Right? So, and I think his condo dues are like 300 and something. I think like $390, almost $400. So he's paying like $1,200 plus or $2,200 plus in mortgage and condo dues together. But he's just scraping by, even though he's making like $10,000 plus a month. Because of his spending habits, and instead of him being able to manage his money correctly, he can't live with that 10 grand a month. Fuck, I'd love to live with 10 grand a month. Like, I don't even make, what do I make? Like, take home maybe like 3,600, maybe 4,000 a month, and I gotta support 3 people, myself included, on that, and I do it just fine. So, like, I can't understand that. Like, this is a pity beg that he's going to be kicked out of his condo if he loses his, and he's not going to have a place to live if he loses his channel. Okay, this is just, again, him pity begging and playing on the sympathies and the emotions of his viewers.
Now I'm literally stuck where I am. I can't move. I can't sell my home. I can't do anything. I just have to be here and ride the course. All right? What's funny is it's so dumb that these people don't think big picture. They only think, well, I don't like Phil, so let's do everything to possibly take down and destroy Phil, right? Even if that's the case, there's other people here. My wife and my pet are both reliant on me to give them a...
Your pet, Phil, doesn't matter, okay? Nobody gives a fuck about your pet, okay? Your wife, she chose that situation. You're the one that made that agreement with her, that she didn't have to pay for anything. Get her fucking ass to pay for shit. If she's not working, tell her fucking ass to go get a job. Again, that's not your viewer's problem. That's not the troll's problem. Okay? You have put yourself in that situation. You're in that because of yourself. Kat is in that because of herself. She made the choice to pretend to be married to you, knowing full well that it could end at any moment. All right? This is your problem. Nobody gives a shit if you lose the condo.
A roof over their head to provide for them. When you hurt DSP Gaming, you're hurting other people that don't even factor into the equation of what you don't like. How are you okay with it?
Technically, Kat is listed as an employee of Brunel Productions, so take it as you will.
that? But then again, these are the same people who have attacked my wife for years, and she has nothing to do at all with my content or me. She's completely separated herself on purpose because she doesn't want to be part of the toxic internet, yet they still do it, right? So you see what I'm saying here? All the things that they say as this is what we want you to do, right, cannot be done. Literally every little thing that they say, oh, sell your home, go get an apartment, do refinance, do this, do that. None of them are viable. Don't you think, just use your head for a second. Don't you think that if I could refinance my home, I would do it right now? Even with interest rates up, why would I care? If I could get some cash out to pay all the back shit that I owe, and I'm in a good financial position, why wouldn't I do that? Because I can't. I just declared bankruptcy 2 years ago. I have zero credit. Like, seriously, my credit score is at the bottom of the barrel, and it's not going to come up for years and years. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm stuck where I am. I'm stuck in a situation where I have to work 6 days a week. I don't want to work 6 days a week. I have to.
You don't have to, Phil. Okay? You're the one that chooses not to get a job. Okay? You can go work in a bank for 4 or 5 days a week. But you don't want to because that's too much work for you. Instead, you want to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning drinking gin, spending money on gotcha pulls, and doing DoorDash. Then you sleep 6 hours, 6.5 hours. You get up and you play video games for 12 hours, and then you rinse, repeat. Okay? You can go get a job like a normal person and work less, but that's too much work for you because that working less would entail you having to get up earlier, not being able to drink gin till 4 o'clock in the morning and get plastered fucking drunk and drunk tweet all over the place. You would actually have to be a contributing member to society, which you are not. And you can never do because you're a lazy fucking piece of shit.
I'm in a situation where I have to, every once in a while, when things are rough and tight, ask my viewers for support, okay? I don't like doing that. I would like to just sit here and do a podcast every day.
You don't have
and
to.
Play games for you guys.
You don't have to ask viewers for support.
I wish I could do that. I can't. That's not reality for me. One day it hopefully will be. I want to get back to where I used to be. And if people would stop messing with me,
that's not going to happen, Phil.
And I could just refinance my home and do the things I need to do to get back on my financial feet, then none of this would be a problem anymore. You would never hear me begging anymore on my streams. You would never hear me asking for support. It could just be, hey, those options are there. Please do them if you would like.
Phil, before you announced bankruptcy, you were begging for money. You've been begging for money since 2008, 2009. You really started begging bad when you got fired from the helicopter repair company. Because back then, that's when you decided, I don't want to work anymore and I'm going to do YouTube full time. So, even during the gravy train, as you call it, the land of milk and honey, you were begging then. So how would that ever change? Because you've been doing the exact same thing for 14 years. None of this has changed. Like you cannot manage, you cannot save money. The money that comes in, all that, like what, you've made $600 on stream today, this morning. I don't know what you've made in the evening. By this time tomorrow, that will all be gone. You've already admitted that the YouTube check is gone, which is impossible. You just got paid on fucking Monday or Tuesday, and that's gone. Okay? Your last 4 night streams, or your last 4 day stream days have been pretty poor. That money that you've actually made on those days is gone. You cannot manage your money. Maybe you should go see a financial advisor. But again, like you've stated, you have a bachelor's of science in business and finance. So shouldn't you know how to do this? Obviously not.
Let's just have fun on a stream. But the thing is, when you take actions like what you're doing today, all right, you have to understand this. When you're hitting me with false copyright strikes, when you're trying to hit me with false community strikes, you're just making the situation worse. And this is what has happened systematically over and over and over to me over the years. People hit me with false takedowns, false copyrights. I then have my channel fall out of prominence on YouTube and in the search algorithm. Now no one can find DSP Gaming anymore.
That's your fault. You fucked up. And you're about to make a lie about this too. You're about to say that YouTube was the one that told you to delete all your videos to fight against the copyright. But you've said in the past that it was Machinima that told you to do that. So you're changing the narrative, as to coin a phrase again from you. You did it on your own volition. You made that choice to delete all the content, losing all the views, losing all the comments, losing all the analytics that would have kept you within the YouTube algorithm. That was the mistake that you made with your videos. Wasn't YouTube, wasn't trolls, wasn't Machinima. That was Phil Burnell making a bad business decision. Okay? You were the one that fucked all that up and killed your channel on your own. You did that yourself, Phil. Okay? And it's time to fucking admit that.
All of a sudden I'm not getting the views I used to get anymore, right? So because of that, you know, I can't make a living like I used to. So now I have to open a Patreon. Now I have to have other contribution methods. Oh, we don't like that Phil's asking for income. But you're the ones who created the situation. I was making enough.
We didn't create any situation, Phil. You created that yourself. Your Patreon, you tried to use as a GoFundMe here. And, like in my past video, I reported you to Patreon, and I was in communication with Patreon. They forced you to support it. Now you got to do those fucking K-pop videos for Slayer that you hate doing. Because you can't use Patreon as a GoFundMe. You have to provide content to your users. You were just looking at for an avenue where people can just give you money and you can tell them to fuck right off. So you got screwed there. You screwed yourself. The situation you got yourself in.
To pay my bills and to not have this issue. You destroyed DSP Gaming and created the situation that you don't like. You're doing it again. All you need to do is make fun of me for years and go ahead, make your restreams, make your videos, make your dumb fuck conspiracy theories, do whatever you want. All right? Go ahead. I'm not going to strike you down. I'm not going to hurt you. Do whatever you want. I promise you that. I'll never do that. All right? But what you need to do, you need to leave me alone so that I can keep making content for you to make fun of. If you illegally strike me down with shit like this and you disrupt the business, now I can't make content anymore. If I get hit with one more strike on DSP Gaming, I can't stream here.
Great. People will save money, Phil. You cannot con people out of money then. If you can't stream, you'll run back to Twitch, okay? You can't get bits and cheers and gifted subscribers there, but you can beg for your PayPal. You can't beg for Patreon because you're going to have to create content for your Patreon members. So you're going to have to actually do some legwork then if you get banned from YouTube for a week, okay? Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe taking a week off will allow you to clear your head. Unlikely, you're probably just going to get fucking plastered drunk and just spend whatever little money you have left on gotcha pulls, so we'll see.
There will be nothing for you to restream or make fun of. What's the point of that? It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Seriously. If your problem with me is, Phil, stop begging, okay? Give me a few years. Let me do my shit, make fun of me for 3-4 more years. Hopefully my credit will improve. I'll be able to refinance.
You've
my
had
home.
14 years to stop,
Now
Phil.
I'm back on a way where I don't need to do that anymore. I won't have to constantly be saying, hey, we got to hit a tip skull and this and that. But you're making it worse with your actions. Do you not understand that?
Phil's scared here, okay? That's what he's doing. So he's trying to lay the guilt, the blame on everybody else. When he's caused this problem for himself. Okay? He's refused to better himself when it comes to his finances. Instead, as soon as he runs into financial trouble, bang on stream, guys, I'm going to be kicked out of the condo, which is what he's doing right now. Right? I'm going to lose the business. I'm going to have to get a job. Like, holy shit, Phil, God forbid you have to get a job. You can't, though, because you don't have an employment history or you're unemployable. The best you're going to end up at is probably Walmart greeter. Probably.
Okay? So, of course, everyone is trying to say, well, what's going on? I can't give you details. If I give you details, it could be considered doxing. It could. If I actually...
Nope, Phil, it is not. What you can do is you can show us your dashboard and go, these are the content strikes I have. It's not going to dox anything. Okay, again, my whole theory is he has one content strike against his channel, which is going to stick, and he knows that. He's trying to play it out as he's doing the beg for sympathy for pity bucks right now, which worked. He got a ton of money by doing this, which, again, should be illegal on YouTube's platform. It should be against TOS to come on and feign distress and beg for money while making up lies about what's going on. I don't know if this is reportable. I'd have to look through the community guidelines more to see if it is, because if it is, I will report Phil for scamming. Actually, we could take a look at that really quick here, right? I'm going to read through this so you guys listen to Phil still.
It told you exactly what's going on. It could be considered doxing, and it could be held against me. So I can't do that. I can't tell you, oh, here's the exact situation of what's going on or whatever. Here's what I can tell you. All right? The strikes are false. All right? The content that apparently is being claimed for copyright, I am 100% in the right, okay, to use said content. 100% legally. There is no legal argument here for the claimant to make against me. It's 100% bogus, okay? The problem is YouTube has to review the situation, all right? So allow me to tell you what's going on, because all I can do is kind of tell you right now, you know, what's going on, all right? Oh, my God. Hold on a minute. If you can believe it, I'm getting tons of messages. So, unreal. I'm getting tons of messages. None of it is anything that's important. I'm just looking to see what it is. All right. Here's the other crazy thing you guys don't understand too. Anytime that something like this happens, among the troll community, there's always a crazy infighting. Like, there's people who actively wanted to see me react to This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2, and they love it. And there's other people who are like, I just don't want Phil to have the ability to do anything, right? And so they fight amongst themselves, they attack each other, they dox each other. It's pretty fucked up. So I gotta say this as well, all right? I am not going to be involved in any of that. I'm not going to be involved in doxing. I'm not going to be involved in any of that shit, all right? I don't have the...
You've done it in the past, PW Dubs. You've doxed people, okay? You've told OIC and Superhound that it's okay to dox people as long as it doesn't find its way back to you. We have the leaked DMs. We have OIC's confirmation on Agent Proper's interview. Shout out Agent Proper. Right? Like, there is stuff out there that you have done, Phil, already in the past that you're saying that you don't do right now. It's well documented even on your own channel.
The ability to go after someone on the internet, you're wasting your time, because there's people already, I can tell you right now, there's people reaching out and they're like, I think it's this person, and, you know, I have information on them. I don't care. I want nothing to do with it. I'm not going to deal with any of that shit. I'm not involved. All right?
Don't kid yourself. He is involved behind the scenes.
False shit against DSP Gaming right now. Okay? Stop it. And here's why. It's in your best interest. You want to be able to keep making fun of me. You want to be able to stop the nonsense, right? I want to make fun of Phil. I want to make fun content. I want to restream him. I want to laugh at him and his misfortunes. And you know what? Maybe in 5 years, 3 years, he gets back on his feet and he'll stop begging, in which case maybe we won't have so much of an issue with him anymore and we can move on to the next, right? But for now, what you're doing is you're destroying what you love to make fun of. What you're doing makes no sense at all, all right? Don't reach out, oh, Phil can now attack this person or that person. Phil is not attacking anyone. Phil sits here on a fun stream and makes content for you guys every day. That's all Phil does. That's all Phil's ever going to do. Phil is not going to take down this, contact that, dox this, do that. That's not Phil, and I'm not doing that at all. Okay? I refuse. All right. So, anyone trying to, I'm going to reach out to Phil and give him the information of who I think it is. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not doing anything with it. What I need is people to stop the bullshit right now. Hopefully I am logically appealing to some people to make them understand what they're doing makes no sense, and hopefully this will be turned around. I hope it will, because the thing is, they can drop the copyright strikes. Anyone who issues false claims can cancel their claims, and therefore the strikes get removed, and then we can move on with no issue.
Look at this. Look at this right here. Okay? This is under community guidelines for monetization purposes. We don't allow I can't even pronounce right now. I'm so fucking tired. Behavior that has large negative impact on the community. This policy means you should be respectful of your viewers, your fellow creators, and our advertisers both on and off YouTube. So this means, Phil, that you cannot slander YouTube about how shitty their practices are. You cannot disrespect your viewers, which you're about to do. And you cannot speak down about your fellow creators like Keemstar or Evil AJ or myself included, right? So this is strikeable, Phil.
If I get shut down, there's no more content, guys. So you're hurting yourselves, all right? So here's what's going on right now. Obviously, I've appealed the false strikes. That's step one you have to do. You appeal, or I don't think it's called a counterclaim, stating, no, this is wrong, here's why, etc. All right? Sadly, I don't think YouTube is going to pull an exception. They might, but I don't think they will. Here's the standard rule for copyright strikes on YouTube. 10 business days. The claimant has 10
False.
business days.
I've just proved that. It's 7 business days.
Okay.
90 days that the
means
strike stands for unless it's
I can't
contested.
do anything about this for 10 business days. Now, in 10 business days, unless that person actually goes to court with a lawyer, somehow tries to make a legal case that their false claim is real, they fool the lawyer, which I can't imagine there's a single copyright lawyer on this planet who's going to be
like you fooled the bankruptcy lawyer, Phil, and the judge / counselor. Because remember, you fooled your bankruptcy lawyer and the bankruptcy court that you were only making $5,000 a year when the Twitch leaks and the bank leaks proved you were making way more than that.
be fooled into thinking that a false claim is real. So they'd have to fool the lawyer into thinking that the false claim is real. Okay? And then actually go to a court and issue a court order, take down the video. Unless that happens, all right, then the stuff's going to end up getting restored in 10 business days, and the copyright strikes will be removed from DSP Gaming. Okay? So that's how it works per YouTube system. All right? But again, here's the problem. The problem is, who's to say there's not more coming? There's not more in the pipeline already? I know from the way that this went down many years ago, all right? Remember, in 2015, the same kind of thing happened to me. There were people who were issuing false strikes against my channel. It wasn't just one, it was a ton. And they were hitting and hitting. And what was I told to do by YouTube? Delete your videos. Okay?
And that's a lie there. And you can see, because he's looking all over the place and everything, right? When this first happened to Phil, Phil said it was Machinima that told him to delete the videos. Now it's YouTube. And this is what happens when you're a pathological liar. The story always changes. Phil made that decision on his own to delete the videos, which killed his channel. That's Phil's fault. Phil could have just fought the copyright strikes back then and put it to rest like he's doing now, right? You could just file a counterclaim and then wait it out. Okay, James Lester's gone through this. Aqua Teal went through it. Hate Army Watch / Cult of Hate went through it. Super Crazy went through it. And Leet's gone through it. So, like, when you're lying about it, Phil, and we have people within the community that know how it actually goes down, it again makes you look more and more like the villain. You're not the victim in this.
Delete your videos. That's what they told me. And at the time in 2015, I had only been running a pre-stream or whatever, because that's what was getting claimed back then. It was my pre-stream. I'd only been running a pre-stream for about 2 years, because I'd only streamed for about 2 years. So I went back and I literally deleted 2 years of videos off of my channel. This plummeted DSP Gaming. This made it be thrown out of the search results. This made me get zero attention in search. No one could find my videos anymore. And that was the first major nail in the coffin of DSP Gaming being able to be self-sufficient. When that happened and I lost so much income, that's when I had to start relying heavily on Patreon. I had to start looking for other sources of income. That's what caused it. That was the catalyst until 2015. And with DSP Gaming getting that false shit.
Now, this is where sponsorships would come into play. You have content creators that have been on just as long as Phil, like Keemstar, right? Who gets sponsored by G Fuel and those like that. That supplements their income, right? So if there's a downturn in viewership, you still get that sponsorship money. no sponsor will touch Phil anymore. Not because of trolls or whatnot. Phil is a very toxic, hateful individual. Racial slurs, transgender slurs, homophobic slurs, constantly begging for money and attacking viewers and other content creators and game developers. Why would a game developer want to sponsor Phil only to have Phil turn around and slander that game developer? Right? Now, Phil lies that he doesn't take sponsorships. He's never shilled anything. Phil's had sponsorships in the past. There was the gaming chair company that didn't want to have anything to do with Phil because he made a shitty video and they cut ties after that. There was the beanbag company that was just like fucking laughing at him afterwards, right? He's turned down certain, like Keemstar was going to give him $50,000 to appear on a podcast with Wings and Ethan Ralph. And they had all talked about it, but Phil was the holdout and Phil refused to do it, costing everybody money. But Phil considers that blood money, but instead he'll come in and he'll beg for money and make up lies or use a podcast to do a sympathy beg because his channel might get struck down. He's going to lose the condo. So that's your fault, Phil, that you no longer, or that you chose not to have a separate line of income and instead just put all your eggs in one basket. That's called bad business decision. And you are supposedly have a business degree, finance degree from Fairfield University, and you don't know this?
Happened to it, forcing me to delete videos per YouTube's instruction. All right? That's what killed the business. If that had never happened, literally we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't. Okay? So,
you still have the bankruptcy.
We're in 2022, 7 years later. All right? Can I go back and delete videos? No. Here's the thing. A false claim is a false claim. We don't know what you...
He knows he can't delete the videos because he made the mistake the last time. So he knows that he can't do that because that would... It wouldn't end the channel. He'd just be... It actually probably wouldn't affect him at all. He'd be in the same fucking boat he is in right now. Forget what I'm going to say
YouTube
here.
will or won't grant. Right? We know that. We actually have no clue what YouTube would or wouldn't grant as a valid strike. You know, it's weird because I've been here for a year and a half, full-time on YouTube, never have an issue. Now all of a sudden they're granting false strikes, right? What exactly could I do? Go back and delete every video on DSP Gaming? The thing is, by the way, and I should clarify, privating videos does nothing. If you privatize your videos, if someone still has the link to your video, they could still claim it.
We actually proved this today, that if you go and look up Evil AJ's video right now, you cannot report it. You can't claim it. It comes up with an error that the video has been privated. You can't do anything, even if you have the link. So this is a lie. And Phil knows it. Phil knows that you can private, because that's what Wings did. Wings privated all his videos, so nothing could be claimed. So Phil knows he's lying here right now. And now Phil already, this is how Phil gets away with... Well, what people need to understand is when you're claiming Phil's videos, make sure that you claim the videos on demand, the stuff that he's uploaded after the live stream. If you claim the live stream, because he privates it, YouTube no longer sees it as an issue because that cannot be publicly seen. They don't know that Phil is going to cut the video up into 4 or 5 pieces, which he does manually. He doesn't use editing software. Basically, whenever he goes to take a piss, he stops the stream and then restarts it. That's how it works, his recording. So when he privates the video, that can no longer be seen by the public. So then YouTube thinks that there's no issue anymore and pushes the strike aside. Phil knows how to game the system, right? Phil's not stupid in that respect. Phil's, like, I like to put it, as an evil genius. He knows what to do to skirt the system, and that's exactly what he does with his live streams. That's why you never see live streams being uploaded. It's always cut up into 4 or 5 parts. That way you're going to have to go back through, give him another view, and then report the video. So just remember that. It's useless to report a live stream on Phil. Report the VODs for any racial, homophobic, transgender, anything that's deemed against guidelines. That's what you should be looking at.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you privatize them or not, okay? So there's really nothing you can do in that regard. You would have to actually outright delete the content in order to have it go away and not have it stricken down. I have been running DSP Gaming since 2010. I have 12 years of content. I think this channel, last time someone checked, had between 70 to 80,000 videos on it. Do you really think I can delete my content? Like, it's insane, right? That's obvious.
Now, somebody will ask him about backing up his content, and Phil says it's impossible to do, and that you would need to spend $10,000 plus on a server. No, it's full of shit. Phil has about, on DSP Gaming, roughly about 59 to 65 terabytes of videos. Remember, it's not all in 1080p, so, and it's all cut up into 4 little pieces or whatever per video, 4 or 5 pieces. All Phil would need is a NAS drive. It'll probably cost him roughly anywhere between $1,000 and $1,300, depending on the quality of drive that you want to put inside the NAS. And then he could back up all his contents. That's what I do with mine. All my videos are backed up on my NAS drive. That's how I record all my stuff.
Obviously not going to happen, right? Right. So, if it's not going to happen, what can I do? Not much. It's kind of the problem. Now, what I did do, I reached out to YouTube. Because my channel has been such a long-running channel, because I am a approved partner.
This is a lie. People already called him out. Other content creators called him out on this. There is no special contact that Phil has at YouTube. He just probably used the fucking automated system or the online bot to try and counterclaim is what he tried to do.
I have a direct line of contact with YouTube to talk to. Spoke with them, and they basically said, all right, we have all your information. We're relaying this to our internal team, and we're going to get back to you. And that's it. That's where it's left. There's no other thing that can be done at this point. I'm stuck, waiting. It could be I could hear back from them within a day and get good news. I could hear back from them and they say, there's nothing we can do. You have to wait 2 weeks. And if you get another strike, you're shut down. Okay? So, that's why I had to pretty much do whatever I could. I have to appeal to the people who are doing this. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're trolls of wings. I don't know if you're trolls of mine. I don't know what your whole thinking is, your mentality. But understand something. If you shut down DSP Gaming, that's it. The gravy train ends. There's no more content for you to make fun of or laugh at. It all ends. You know, if your goal is to say, I just want Phil to improve, I don't want him to be asking his viewers for income and stuff, fine, but I can't do that now. I have a family to feed and protect and support and provide for. You understand that? I can't sell my home. I can't get an apartment. I can't do the things you crazily think I can do. I can't refinance. I wish I could.
Yes, you can.
Right now, at this moment, if I could refinance my home, I would. And it would take care, I'm serious, of all my financial problems. You wouldn't hear me ask.
Then do it. You can do it, Phil. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. You've already proven that. You're not under a lien. You're not under any type of lockout or whatever. You can refinance or you can sell your condo and then move into a better living condition for yourself where you're not paying $2,200 a month in fucking mortgage and condo dues. Okay? You can do it. You just don't want to because for you, it's a fucking status symbol.
Asking for anything on a stream, I'd be able to have all my back shit taken care of, and I'd be moving forward with a big ass grin on my face every day. I can't do that. I wish I could. That's not the situation I'm in. All right? So whether or not you even believe the nonsense about me on the internet or not, you have to understand just the facts of reality. I can't do the crazy things that people think. Get a job. Okay, stop streaming 6 days a week. Try to get a job out there in a job market that is never going to support the amount of income that I need to keep everything that I have. You understand?
Then you have to downsize, Phil. Okay? If you cannot afford to live in the situation that you are currently living, then you need to make changes. I've done that in my prior video, my first video where I managed Brunel Productions. And I showed that you can cut back $2,000 plus a month in bills. but you're choosing not to because you want to have that bougie baller lifestyle living in a gated community that you can't afford to live in. You have to make those changes. You cannot continue going down the road that you're going down, but you refuse to do that because you're a narcissist. If you do that, then in everybody else's eyes, you failed. Okay? You can't afford to continue living the way you live. That means you put your condo up for sale, you take the equity, you rent an apartment in downtown Renton, downtown Seattle, wherever. Move back to Connecticut, make it easier on yourself maybe. Move somewhere, like, because Seattle's a very expensive city to live in. Okay, you're living in one of the most expensive cities in the country, and you don't have a reliable source of income. That means you need to make that change. But you're refusing to, and instead you're going to play on the, again, sympathies and emotions of your viewers and beg them for more money, which worked today, and again should be illegal and against YouTube's terms of service for doing so.
I would end up losing my home and everything again, and I can't even get another one. You're telling me if you know, go get another job, okay, but then I lose money. What are you saying? It doesn't make any sense. Again, there's no logic to anything here. It's just emotion. Oh, I don't like him, so tell him to do these things. That make no sense. What job do you think out there is going to take me in and pay me any good amount of money that would be kind of equivalent to what I make on YouTube? Like, are you nuts? Because all I'm going to get out there is probably a retail job. You know what I mean? A sales job or something. No one's going to take me into any kind of an office job with a salary or anything like that like I used to do. I've been out of the job market for over 10 years. So no one's going to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. What you ask for is not viable. There's no solutions to the problem. There's just wait it out for a few years and then the solution will come. But we demand solutions now, and Phil's not immediately giving into the demands we want, even though the demands don't make sense because he can't do them. You know? So there you go. Now, so what's going to happen? All right, let's talk. All right? I have 2 copyright strikes against this channel. Today, I could get a new one granted, and then I'm done. Seriously, like as of today, I could get a new copyright strike granted, and then I'm done. And there's nothing I can do about it. It might happen. I mean it, like it could happen today, because there may very well be more of these in the pipeline. I can't see what's in the pipeline waiting to be granted, right? And because of that, I can't control it. I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do. All right? At the earliest that this will get cleared up is in 2 weeks, when the already existing false strikes get counter-processed, essentially, and then basically they'll be removed, and then I'll be able to come back and do content again. All right? So there's nothing I can do in that regard. I'm just kind of got to wait and see. Now, I talked to YouTube. They claim they're going to get back to me. Are they going to do anything about it? Well, let's put some perspective here. Apparently, Wings of Redemption contacted YouTube. Did YouTube do anything about it? Not to my knowledge, right? They didn't.
Yeah, you even said it, that he's back streaming. Wings is back on YouTube. Now, my question is, what if they allow the strikes to stay on Phil's channel? That means in the next 90 days, Phil cannot get another strike. If he gets another strike, yes, he will be... Well, he will not be allowed to stream. And if that 3rd strike goes through, then he loses the channel and all consecutive channels. So that means KO Gaming and King of Hate Vlogs will also go bye-bye. So he will lose everything on YouTube. So where does he go from there? And we'll touch base on that here in a little bit.
Didn't just magically fix his situation and undo the strikes. From what I see, from the perspective that I see, okay, YouTube does not want to do anything because they're afraid that they'll get sued. So even if this is a false claim, which it is, right, they don't want to make a mistake and now get hit with valid lawsuits, and now they're, you know, a defendant.
That is true. YouTube's going to look out for YouTube. Okay, they're not going to look out for Phil. Now, since he's counterclaimed, they will look into it. But if they find that it is sound, that the content strike will stand, Phil's fucked.
because they're getting sued because they say, oh, you broke copyright because you didn't adhere by the law or whatever. All right. So you see what I'm saying? I don't think I'll be honest, I don't think YouTube is going to do anything about it. I think they're just going to tell me to wait. Now, hopefully what YouTube will do is give me some protections. What I mean by that is if the same person tries to do this, more false claims for this.
That's not going to happen, Phil. Did YouTube give protections to detractors when they had to deal with Superhound? No, Superhound was able to do it. Superhound actually stole Hate Army Watch's entire channel, rebranded himself to look exactly like Hate Army Watch, and YouTube did nothing to stop it. So they're not going to grant you any protections, Phil. You're not anybody special.
Same shit. Hopefully YouTube won't grant it. Hopefully they'll say, okay, Phil already got 2 strikes for the same shit. He already appealed it. We're not going to keep granting strikes for the same shit. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. All right. So that's what's going on with me right now. Now, a couple quick things. First of all, I'm being told I should get in contact with Nick, Rakita, and the Quartering. All right?
Nick Rakita is not going to fucking help you. He hates you as much as anybody else. You should do a reaction to him listening to the bankruptcy call. The Quartering, what the fuck is that slob going to do? He had to beg on his own channel when he was getting sued for legal help. He was begging for money so he could pay his legal fees, Phil. The Quartering and Nick Rakita ain't going to do shit. That would be a huge fucking mistake. What you should do is you should probably actually go and maybe get a lawyer. But the problem is they're going to look at your bankruptcy and go, fuck, I want a $50,000 retainer right now, which you don't have that money for.
If you guys think that they can help in any way, great. Get them involved. Send them my way. You know.
Why would your viewers have to send them your way, Phil? Like, why is that your viewers' responsibility? You're the one in trouble here. You should be the one reaching out for help. But again, right? Like, don't call me. You have to email me between this time and this time because I'm streaming 6-7 days a week.
Let's have a talk about this. Well, what can be done? Because it's ridiculous at this point. All right? I don't want to have my whole business shut down for nonsense, legal nonsense. That's completely false. Okay? You know, I love doing what I do for a living, and I absolutely love the content I put out. I'm very different than who I used to be. I feel like I put out positive shit. I can't have this end, and I can't not be able to support my family because someone's breaking the law. Okay? So if anyone can reach out, you know, and help, whatever. Listen, I'll take help. I just need to know who the fuck it could be, you know, that you think you can help me somehow with this. I don't know how they could help, but hey, whatever. Okay, that's number one. Number two, so what happens if a third strike hits DSP Gaming? The channel's gone for now then. It'll be gone. You won't be able to see the videos. I certainly won't be able to pump out new videos or stream. It'll basically be like the channel doesn't exist. It'll say this channel's been shut down for copyright issues or whatever. Now, so I should be able to still access the channel behind the scenes and dispute the claims and work with YouTube, but there's no guarantees if or when that'll get cleared up. Okay? I just have no idea. Now, let me put it this way. I will have a backup plan in place. If I can't stream or upload here, I will have a backup plan in place. I'm not going to tell you what that backup plan is because if I do, you know what would happen. All right? So, what I could say is, now would be the time, if you're smart, to follow me on Twitter at TheyCallMeDSP.
What would that do, Phil? You block everybody on Twitter. Okay? The only people that you can respond or who can message you are people you follow on Twitter. You just want to increase your Twitter follower base. Okay? Phil's only option at this point is to go back to Twitch. He can't do Odyssey because a troll has registered DSP Gaming on Odyssey. Let's bring it up here. So you can see this person has registered Darkside Phil, name spelt wrong, right? There's already DSP LOL channels that are showing up on here, right? But this site, he won't be able to get DSP Gaming if he searches for it, or Dark Side. Like, it's already been taken up. Okay? So he's already screwed, right? Like, the URL, everything doesn't make any sense here. So this isn't Phil that's created this, okay? The only avenue that he would need to go back to would be Twitch. And again, all he can do then is beg for PayPal tips. He won't be able to use any other channel that he has because KO Gaming and King of Hate Vlogs are no longer monetized. So he can't use those channels. And if he gets a third content strike, his AdSense is going to be locked to DSP Gaming. He won't be able to use it on any other channel because that would be considered ban evasion. Then he would lose all his channels. So his only recourse is Twitch.
All right? Because if something happens here and I lose the channel temporarily, I know I'm going to get it back in the long term. But if I lose the channel temporarily, all right, that's where I'm going to talk with you guys about what I'm doing in the future. I need you, that's going to be the avenue. I'll say, hey guys, I can't make content here. Please go here. All right? And I promise you I'll do my best to have things in place to try to make it as normal as possible. Likely it won't be. There's probably going to be things we have to get used to, changes, and hopefully it's short term. Hopefully I would be able to have it so that in 2 weeks, DSP Gamer will come back, all right? And then we'll be back to normal. All right, so there you go. So that's the only thing I can recommend. Get ready. Seriously, be ready for an announcement that DSP Gaming has been shut down for false copyright claims. If it happens, I'm going to give you information on where to go where I can continue to make content. I can't afford to not make content. I can't do it. If I get shut down today and I can't stream tomorrow, I can't pay my bills. I can't afford groceries. I can't do anything. Okay? So I need to be able to.
And that should be illegal to do. He can't come on here, feign distress and go, guys, I can't afford groceries, I can't afford to pay my bills, I'm going to be kicked out of my condo. That should be against YouTube's terms of service in some way or another. Because that is not people who browse YouTube, that's not their fault, Phil. Okay, that's not their responsibility that you don't have a proper income to support your lifestyle. Okay? You refuse to work. You want to wake up at 10:30 in the morning and play video games all day and beg for money. That's the choice you made. If it doesn't work out for you, sorry, there's a dumpster outside of your gated community that you can live in, you and Kat and Jasper. And that's where you can go.
Make content. The people doing this don't understand that, apparently. They think they're not thinking logically. They want the content to make fun of, right? They want to continue this ride of making fun of Phil like a three-ring circus. But then they're trying to actually destroy the business that I need in order to have that happen. They're trying to hurt people in my house right now who have nothing to do with this. They don't care. It's not.
See, and he's using his family as a bargaining chip. And this is what my brother does with my nephew. He uses him as a bargaining chip, right? So in reality, they don't mean anything to that person, right? It's only a way for them to make money, to seem powerful, that if you hurt me, you're hurting them. And that's holding somebody hostage, right? Like that's disgusting in my eyes.
Not logical, it's stupid. Okay? All right? So, again, be ready. I'm fully expecting it to happen. I am. I'm fully expecting to get more copyright strikes.
So many manual lean-in bans here.
Today,
and WWE poll.
I don't know when. I'm not today. All right? But I basically know that it's coming. So be ready. All right? Be ready. And that's all I really have to say about that. Moving forward, all I can hope for is the best. I mean, with YouTube, sadly, it seems like this can happen at any time. You know what I mean? It seems like there's no real defense against it. How do you defend against it when, I don't know.
It's easy to defend against Phil. Don't be a scumbag on YouTube. Don't beg for money. Don't slander, harass, or defame game developers and other content creators. Don't lie and scam and con your viewers. Don't insult or attack your viewers when they ask you a question about your personal life because you keep bringing up your personal life. All right? Do you see Tim the Tap Man on YouTube begging people for money while playing Call of Duty? Do you see Dr. Disrespect doing that? No. They don't do that on YouTube. You're the one that does it. You, Wings, LTG, Ethan, Ralph. All you fucking losers in the LolCow universe. LolCow extended universe. That is what you do. The good YouTubers don't do what you do.
You know, I wish for a year and a half I was here full-time streaming, didn't have an issue. Now the issues arise. So how do you protect against it? If the only thing that I can say is I would hope YouTube's going to wise up here and look at the situation and be like, okay, it's the same guy or same parties, whoever they are, striking all this shit, right? So we're in a situation where we shouldn't just keep hitting Phil with the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And maybe put some preventions in place. Don't have the channel shut down because people keep trying to claim the same kind of shit over and over. I would hope, right? I guess we'll see. Anyway, so in summary, this sucks. I wish I could fix it. I can't. All right. At any moment, this stream could go down. My videos, you won't be able to see them. I won't be able to upload, or it could not happen. But I'm gonna lean towards it's probably going to happen. Expect it. I'll tell you where to go next on my Twitter at They Call Me DSP. Okay. I'll have ways to reach out and talk to you guys if the YouTube channel gets shut down. So just be ready for it. All right. And here's the other thing too. Like, if DSP Gaming gets shut down, well then what would we do? I don't know. We might have to change content. We might have to change the kind of content I'm doing temporarily, and not be able to do the kind of stuff that I want to do, which would suck. But what can you do? We'll have to see, because it all depends on the situation. I don't know what the situation is going to be. Okay. So let's find out. But hopefully, it won't happen. You know, I'm hoping for the best, but it doesn't mean that the best is going to happen. I'm hoping YouTube will contact me here with a solution. It doesn't mean YouTube's going to contact me with anything. YouTube is likely just going to go, oh, well, you know, we got to protect ourselves legally, so we're not going to do anything about it, right?
So if YouTube allows like he's doing a WWE poll right now, if YouTube allows the copyright strike to stand, that means they are in agreement with the claimer, Phil. That means you have done something wrong. And then the strike stays. So you are to blame then. That's not a false copyright strike. YouTube's in agreement. And that's something you're going to have to deal with.
And it sucks. Okay? Now, obviously, if I lose my ability to make content on DSP Gaming, guess what? I can't get super chats. I can't get super stickers. I can't get new memberships, which I rely on for income. The only way that'll be ongoing is you could pledge to my Patreon, patreon.com.
You can't do that because Phil needs to create content. Let's go to Phil's Patreon right here. So we're looking at DSP's Patreon. So he has 4 levels of Patreon, right? We'll receive an exclusive forum title and section to post in on my website, kingofhate.com. In addition, you'll be included in the nomination voting process when Twitch channel subscriber milestones are hit. So again, he hasn't updated his Patreon at all. He still has Twitch, and he does a stream on Twitch, right? So this perk wouldn't really work anymore because he doesn't support his website. He doesn't run on Twitch. Okay, so for $13.50 a month, patrons who donate $10 or more a month not only get all perks below this level, but will receive a verbal thank you shout out during ongoing vlog series, including Ask the King, Hate Live, stuff he doesn't do anymore. He doesn't do any of these. So again, he could be reported because these two membership levels don't apply anymore. $27 a month. Patrons who donate at least $20 a month receive priority access for Ask the King, which only happens maybe once every 6 months now, once every 7 months, right? There will be a special segment for $20 and above donators. They will have priority section to submit their questions. KingFaith.com, and I will answer any questions posted there. There'll be guidelines, of course, there's guidelines, right? And then patrons who donate $50 or more a month will receive personalized video from Phil. This is pretty much the only one that Phil can actually support still, is this membership, right? He's got 47 Patreons and makes $493 a month Canadian from this. Again, he would have to... he would have to support the content, which he's not prepared to do anymore, as he won't have an avenue prepared to do it. So people cannot pledge to his Patreon because he cannot use it as a GoFundMe. That's against the TOS for Patreon. Okay? He would have to redesign his whole entire Patreon around stuff that he could do for his patrons, because the first three cannot be used anymore. They cannot be used as it is right now because he doesn't use any of this shit anymore. The only one he can use is this, and the only one that we know that actually has requested the personalized video is Slayer. So again, I highly doubt that he's supporting his patron, and he's just using it as a piggy bank, which needs to stop.
/DarkSidePhil. You could leave me a tip. That hasn't changed. That tips link is still in effect. You can still leave a tip. Now, for now, you could do whatever, which is great. You can still do that. Several people have. In fact, I'm going to do shout-outs. We're going to address all this stuff now, and then we're going to talk about what I'm doing for the rest of today, okay?
And that's what 1 Minute Man does, right? 1 Minute Man no longer appears on the streams, because if he does, Phil says he's going to get harassed. So 1 Minute Man, who is a real person, mind you, we do have chat logs of him in the past. 1 Minute Man tips behind the scenes, and Phil then calls it out during the stream.
Okay, I want to do shout-outs first, and then we'll talk about the rest of today. All right? But, yeah, if you want to support the channel right now, the best way to do this would be, number one, spread the word about what's going on. Say it's bullshit, because it is. And whatever rallying support can be said on the internet for me, the better. I don't, wherever it comes from, I need support right now because this is bullshit. I'm not going to have my business shut down for false shit that I didn't do. All right? That's number one. Number two, please be...
But you did do it, Phil. Again, the video from Monday was claimed because of transgender slurs. Your title was changed, and then the video was allowed to continue after the title was changed. You had Tuesday, you had a whole bunch of videos age restricted. All your content should be age restricted. Now YouTube is doing it because they do realize that your content does not cater to children. So in the future now, you're going to get demonetized per video, per VOD, I mean, not for your fucking shitty live streams because you privated. But any VOD that you do is probably going to get age restricted. Or YouTube will just blanket age restrict your channel. And then the copyright claim from today that we know of, the only one that we know of, it's a gray area. I don't agree, but I do agree with the guy at the same time. But that's because you do shady shit when you want to get... See, like for me, I'll just explain this really quick. I hired Meerkat, of Meerkat Mob, formerly Meerkat Inc., to do all the graphics for my channel. Guy is fucking phenomenal at the work that he does. And I love him for helping me out here, because I wouldn't be able to do these if he didn't, because I have no creative bone in my body. I have a inkling of what I want, and I described it to Meerkat what I would like, and he went above and beyond what I could even imagine. And that's what Phil should be doing. He should be reaching out to like people on Fiverr and paying them, because I paid Meerkat to do my work for me. I've contacted people to do animations for my Fight Night streams, which I'm not going to let any information slip on that, but it's going to be fucking hilarious. I'm still trying to figure out stream elements. I really don't know how to operate stream elements. I don't have time to sit down right now and do it. So that's going to take some time. I may reach out for some questions to some of my fellow detractors for some help with my stream elements so I can get all that up and running. But again, Phil's just going to beg for free, and when it backfires, then he cries foul.
Be ready for whatever instructions I give you if the channel does go down. And number 3, yeah, support would be great. Moral support is just as important, if not more important, as anything financial. Please understand that. You know, just to have know that people have my back, and that people want to see me succeed and see my content and or make fun of my content, even if that's what you're here for, that's more important to me. But yeah, I might very well lose my ability to make income on YouTube, and therefore we have to look at alternate means. If you want to help with that, you can. All right? Fair enough? Let's do shout outs for now. See what people have to say about this shitty situation. All right? So let's start. So, Amazing GT had re-upped his membership earlier and said, "What's up, Phil?" I think you know what's up now, and you wish you didn't ask the question, but thank you, Amazing GT, for re-upping your membership. Mullah Viking re-upped his membership. He says, "Very well, Phil, you're a fair guy in that respect. I think what he's talking about is that I don't take down anyone with copyright claims. I never have, and I never will." Mullah Viking did a super chat. He says, "Sycophants will do sycophant stuff no matter who you are." Phil, I don't really know what that means. Who are they sucking up to exactly?
It's a sycophant, Phil. Like, you really don't understand what a sycophant is. A person who acts... I can't even pronounce it. Obsquishes? Whatever. Towards someone important in order to gain advantage. So, even the guy using this term doesn't know what the fuck it means. Because nobody's sucking up to Phil, and Phil's sucking up to who? I have no idea.
By false striking my channel? I don't know. I don't understand. Supreme Specimen of Man re-upped his membership. He says, "I'm sorry to hear about what has happened. Thank you." And then Seal did a super chat and says, "You don't deserve false copyright claims. Good luck, friend." Thank you, Seal. Okay. And by the way, another thing that I should say, all right? Because again, this is how this stuff overall affects everything, right? Excuse me. So, all year we've been talking about, gee, hopefully by the end of this year, I could maybe have a special event, or I could sell a bunch of stuff, and I could raise funds, right, in order to upgrade my setup, get a new PC, get a new camera. Even my detractors want me to do that because they think that the quality of my shit sucks, right? Wouldn't you rather make fun of me in full 1080p and look at every...
Again, Phil, I've done many videos on covering this new PC. Your PC is perfectly fine to do full 1080p, you fucking gouty piece of shit.
Every little nuance of my face to pick apart, right? Well, guess what? If you're going to hit me with false strikes and you take down my channel and I can't make money, guess what? Now I can't do that. You see, like, this is what they don't think. They don't think big picture. They just think, oh, short term, right?
Short term. That's what you think, Phil. Big picture. Why would I want you to be able to beg for a new PC, right? You can't afford to pay your bills, okay? You're saying you're going to lose the condo because the business is going to fail because you're going to get your YouTube site taken down, but then you turn into begging for a new PC. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Short-term shit. And that sucks because they're not thinking, wow, all this stuff that was supposed to happen or that was in place and now it might not happen because we're doing this to Phil. Anyway. Mullah Viking did another super chat. He said, Google sycophant? I don't know what that means either. What's a Google sycophant? I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Anyway, so let's go to tips now. Tip side of things. And again, to reiterate, if this channel goes down, you can still pledge to my Patreon. You can still tip me. Those things still exist. Those aren't going away. Okay?
Look at that. And he's still begging. He's still begging while screaming, the sky is falling. That's the first thing into his mind, that the channel's going to go down, but you can still give him money behind the scenes. until he loses Patreon, which I hope he does too. I hope he loses Patreon because he isn't supporting it. And like I've shown you guys, he is just fucking around.
So we start off today with Skipperson, who took me $4.20 and said to relax my anus. There you go. Thanks a lot. Zero did $1.50 tip. I'm sure you've heard. It's floating around on Twitter. Wings is trolls. All right, so I already addressed this. It's Wings is trolls that are doing it. Big Allen took me $1.50. He said, I can't believe you don't strike people. I think the person who does it in your name makes themselves known. No, I do believe you don't strike people because the person who's been doing it in your name makes themselves known as that weirdo superhound. And again, yeah, that, you know, to my knowledge, that's a guy who's been messing with people for years and years on the internet. People try to figure out who he is and take him down, and they were not successful. I don't know anything about why he ever targeted me or why he would have targeted.
Again, we have the DM leak between Phil and Superhound. So Phil knows who he is, like not personally, but Phil knows what he's doing.
My detractors, I have nothing to do with it. I don't want anything to do with the guy, you know. Wait, it's $6. He was not a moderator of mine. That's bullshit. Superhound was never a moderator of mine. I don't know who told you that. That's bullshit. Absolutely not. Fling. Give me $2 saying, there's a user on Twitter called this, and this is the person doing it. All right, I already said, I don't care. All right, I don't care. I don't have the means to take action against these people. I'm not going to dox people. I'm not going to do shit. I just need the false claims to stop and be removed. I have no, you know what I mean? Like, I have no control over the nonsense going on, and I'm not going to do anything else about it besides say, I just need people to listen to reason, right? I have no real other ability to do anything, so. Okay. An anonymous tipper to me $5 to stay strong. King. You have haters, but you have loyal fans as well who will stick with you. Long live DSP the King. Well, there you go. Thank you to an anonymous tipper for a $5 tip. Snow Carl took me $1.55. He says, sucks to hear about these troll issues. It's sickening some people would act without remorse. It must be stressful for Kat. I hope she's dealing with everything. I mean, the thing is, we've been through this before, you know? Like, this isn't the first rodeo. Seriously, this is not the first time this has happened. Right? These kind of issues, every once in a while, they creep up. And you gotta, at this point, you gotta just handle them rationally with a cool mind, a calm mind. When you get upset, right? That's when things tend to go wrong, right? So that being said, I'm not going to go crazy here. I'm not going to lose my mind. She's not going to lose her mind. We're just going to deal with it rationally. You know, I repealed the copyright strikes. I contacted YouTube. We see what happens. I have a backup plan. You go to that if you need to. Hope that I can keep the level of support that I need to keep going. You know, there's nothing that can be done besides hope for the best and keep going positively. That's our attitude these days, you know. Let's see here. An anonymous $3 tipper says, hope for the best. Sorry you're in the position you're in. Making fun of you is one thing. You know, it's annoying, but it's considered free speech. Actively trying to ruin your life is a bridge way too far. And again, I don't understand the whole effort towards this. Again, what do you even get out of this? What is the benefit if I can't make content?
We get a scumbag off the internet that cannot prey on people who are more susceptible to coercion, like I've said in the past. And that will force a bum like you, Phil, to actually face life like the rest of us do. I wish I can sleep until, like, I got to be up here in 5 hours, and I'm doing this video here. Like, it. You, on the other hand, you're still streaming, playing a video game, if the channel hasn't been taken down yet. And then after this, you'll take whatever money you made today on the streams do your gotcha polls and drink gin till 4 o'clock in the morning, hate tweeting everybody. You're a scumbag, Phil. You're a scumbag and a leech and a cancer on society.
There's no benefit to you. So what are you doing? Make fun of me, deride me, rip me a new butthole, conspiracy theories, nonsense, whatever. When you destroy my livelihood, what is the benefit? Right? You won't.
What's the benefit? I can say it was a good day, Phil. That's what I'm going to say.
Ever hear about it, you'll hear nothing. You'll never even know what's going on because I can't even make content anymore. It doesn't make sense. Professor Banana. To be $4.20 is why not make your own site and do business there, because it's not how it works. Even people who have...
He could. He can go on to... He can create his own website. He supposedly has his own website, the King of Hate Forums. He can turn that into a website and upload his videos to there. And then he can scream racist shit, homophobic shit. Like, I'm so tired right now, guys. But he can do that, and then he's not breaking any of his own terms of service. All that could happen is whoever's doing his domain hosting, if they were contacted by people saying, you know, this site needs to be taken down because it's full of hate speech, they may take a look at that and be like, yeah, we're no longer going to host this guy. And then Phil will have to end up getting hosting done in fucking Russia, for all I know.
Have made their own site still need YouTube. I'll give you a perfect example of someone who recently I kind of started to try to get caught up on how they've operated their business in the last few years. Used to be called That Guy with the Glasses, right? Now it's called Channel Awesome, and it's basically the Nostalgia Critic, right? He still actively made content non-stop, like literally. He's done content non-fucking stop for years and years. He never stopped, even though I didn't know that. He's been through all kinds of shit. But he has to post his content up, even though he owns his own website. He has a website.
Here's that massive tip.
All of his videos. All right, all of them. And you can access them there. You can search for them there. You could do everything there. He has to use YouTube as the video host. There is no solution to find an alternative way to host videos than YouTube. All right? There's a few different places where you can go if you want to try to use alternatives. None of them are that good. What was the one that some people started using recently? It was actually, I think it was the Angry Video Game Nerd started using them. So it's not YouTube. It's somewhere else, all right? But they basically don't even work that well. Like, from what I've seen, you try to play a video, sometimes it just loads and wouldn't even load. You can't even access the videos at some hours of the day. I can't remember what it is. It's a competitor to YouTube that just popped up in the last year to 2 years. But that's what I mean. Like, no one archives and does their own content. Everyone uses a third party, whether it's YouTube or Twitch or somewhere else to stream, and everyone uses YouTube as the repository for their content. You can't do it yourself. It's too expensive. You would have to have a server farm somewhere. You would have to actually have proprietary software designed. You would have to have insane amounts of bandwidth. You would have to go...
Or you can just buy a NAS drive, like I've already explained. Just have a NAS drive and back up your content as you record. Because that's what I'm going to do after I'm done here. I'm going to take my recording, I'm going to put it on my NAS drive, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Phil has no fucking idea what he's talking about. This is what I mean about misinformation. And people are going to believe, his viewers, the dent heads, the retards, are going to believe it.
Crazy to run your own business like that. That's why everyone uses the third parties. They're the only ones that can do it because they're so big, they can deal with that shit. You see what I'm saying? I can't do that. First of all, even back in the day when I had lots of money, before I made my move across the country, and that was the beginning of the financial problems, even then, I wouldn't have been able to afford it with the money that I was making. Just think of it this way. If there's people out there who are filthy rich doing YouTube and Twitch, why are they not doing it? They could afford it, but they still don't do it. It's not viable. That's why.
That's a fucking lie, Phil. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about when it comes to anything remotely related to how your content actually works.
Okay. Continuing on, Vidar Viking is here today. I guess that's who Mullah Viking was. To the $1.50, he's a sycophant means a person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain an advantage. So you're saying if someone is working towards YouTube to gain an advantage with them or Google, who would that? You lost me. I appreciate the support. You've totally lost me with your line of reasoning today. You really did. Who's being a sycophant towards Google or YouTube? Anyway, Nick has tipped me $10 and says, this is a big YouTube lawsuit. It sets a way for troll cancel culture to be able to shut down livelihoods and dreams. I hope bigger channels like Philip DeFranco will cover you in wings. Try different stories of the same issue that could affect more. Huh? Well, thank you for the tip. I think trying to translate what Nick has said, he's basically saying that since this is now becoming an ongoing issue, perhaps bigger people could cover it, and then it'll be addressed, right?
Truthfully, the bigger people that would cover this would want Phil and Wings gone from YouTube.
But I don't know. Right? Okay. Now, I received a ginormous $250 tip from someone named XP Squad. Let me get that on the leaderboard and let me read out what they have to say. I'm curious. Thank you so much. Obviously, that's going to help today. We don't know what's going to happen with the channel, right? I'm not feeling positive. I wish, guys, I mean this too. Like, I wish I could just sit here and kind of feel positive and be like, oh, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. I kind of don't feel that way. I kind of feel like, sadly, there's already enough in the pipeline that likely DSP Gaming will be shut down today or tomorrow. And then I'm going to have a backup plan. So, thank you very much for the support. Now, let's see what he has to say, okay? By the way, enough is enough. You want to joke about bullshit with pulls, and you want to joke about mobile games, you're banned, and you're not coming back ever. And I have no remorse over that choice because I've had enough. This is not a day to be making fucking fun of someone who's having their life destroyed. You're a scumbag. No one wants you here. No one ever liked you. Leave and don't come back. I'm giving my foot to your ass, and if you come back, every time I'm banning you on site.
And that's slander and harassment, Phil. You cannot do that. Harassment and cyberbullying. Right? Reportedly encourages abusive audience behavior. Repeatedly targets, insults, and abuses an identifiable individual based on their intrinsic attributes across several uploads. Exposes an individual's risk of physical harm, blah, blah, blah. Right? So Phil cannot... What Phil just did is a bannable offense. Okay? Now Phil will be like, oh, he made some comment against me or whatever, and it'd be like, okay, show us the comment, Phil. Show us what he did that pissed you off so much that you were going to attack him or harass him in front of your audience. This is what got you kicked off of Twitch. Okay? Hateful slurs. You cannot do that, Phil.
Don't ever come back. Fucking two assholes right now in the chat that really just pissed me off. They think it's funny. Oh, let's make a joke that Phil will use this money to do pulls in a mobile game. All right, here's a joke. Fuck you. This is my life. It's serious business. Shut the fuck up and go move on. Go somewhere. From someone named XP Squad. Let me get that on the leaderboard and let me read out what they have to say. I'm curious. Thank you so much. Obviously, that's going to help today. We don't know what's going to happen with the channel, right? I'm not feeling positive. I wish, guys, I mean this too. Like, I wish I could just sit here and kind of feel positive and be like, oh, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. I kind of don't feel that way. I kind of feel like, sadly, there's already enough in the pipeline that likely DSP Gaming will be shut down today or tomorrow. And then I'm going to have a backup plan. So, thank you very much for the support. Now, let's see what he has to say, okay? By the way, enough is enough. You want to joke about bullshit with pulls, and you want to joke about mobile games, you're banned, and you're not coming back ever. And I...
What should we report this under? Harassment and bullying? Hateful or abusive content. Abusing vulnerable individuals. Attacking viewers. And threatening them after asking questions. Vulgar and abusive comments by the content creator. And Phil has been reported.
I have no remorse over that choice because I've had enough. This is not a day to be making fucking fun of someone who's having their life destroyed. You're a scumbag. No one wants you here. No one ever liked you. Leave and don't come back. I'm giving my foot to your ass. And if you come back, every time I'm banning you on site. Don't ever come back. Fucking two assholes right now in the chat that really just pissed me off. They think it's funny. Oh, let's make a joke that Phil will use this money to do pulls in a mobile game. All right, here's a joke. Fuck you. This is my life. It's serious business. Shut the fuck up and go move on. Go somewhere else.
And I'm going to end it there, guys, because this is basically the end of the spurg of Philip Burnell for today. Again, as you can see, we've gone over on the left-hand side, we've gone over community guidelines and stuff that he should be struck on. Personally, I hope the channel does get shut down. I don't like the fact that it's being done with false copyright strikes, although as far as we know, there's only one copyright strike against the channel. I don't know what's going to happen here. If he gets shut down, he gets shut down, and I will be happy about it. He'll move on to somewhere else. I'll continue to do videos and everything and report on his bullshit and debunk everything. But if he doesn't, again, I'm still going to be here. My fellow detractors are still going to be here. So let's see what happens. Just for the rest of the week here, I know Meth Bear and I have been trying to get some time scheduled to do the defamation and stuff like that. Maybe this video might actually be good to use in that respect. I'll talk to Meth Bear here. I know Meth Bear would like to try to do it tomorrow. I can't do it tomorrow. I'm going to be working late. Friday, Phil is not doing Fight Night. He's doing it Saturday. Saturday, Meth Bear has an engagement to go to. So we might push the defamation stuff maybe until next Fight Night. Find out what's going down then. Now I got to go to bed here, guys, because I got to be up in 4.5 hours. Fuck me. And I'm going to have to fight King Jad in Rocket League here. So, again, I want to thank you guys for watching. It's another 3-hour and 42-minute video. I'm encroaching on Steve the Dead territory here. Again, guys, just let me state that I do not condone nor do I support any false copyright strikes or any false DMCA takedowns of anyone, including the lol cows. But Phil has caused his own downfall. He challenged the Wings trolls. He challenged Evil AJ. And now he's been called out. And now he's crying foul while he's begging for money using sympathy, feigning distress that he's going to lose his business and lose the condo again. And shit like this shouldn't be allowed to happen on YouTube or any other platform for that matter. So again, guys, thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit like. If you love the channel, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.